The Enchanted Compass. Once upon a time, in a kingdom nestled between enchanted forests and sparkling rivers, there was a quaint village named Greenhaven. Greenhaven was a place of peace and beauty, but it had a mysterious secret, a hidden treasure buried deep within the heart of the Whispering Forest. Legend had it that the treasure was guarded by ancient magic and could only be found by someone with a pure heart and unyielding courage. In Greenhaven lived a curious and kind-hearted young girl named Lila. Lila was known for her adventurous spirit and her love for helping others. Despite her small stature, she had a heart as vast as the forest itself. She often dreamed of discovering the hidden treasure to help her village thrive, especially since her family struggled to make ends meet. One day, while exploring her grandmother's attic, Lila stumbled upon an old wooden box covered in dust. Inside, she found a beautifully crafted compass adorned with intricate carvings of stars and moons. Attached to the compass was a note that read, "To find the hidden treasure, follow the compass with a heart full of kindness." The journey begins. Excited by her discovery, Lila decided to embark on a quest to find the hidden treasure. As she set off into the Whispering Forest, the compass began to glow softly, guiding her deeper into the woods. The forest was alive with magical creatures and shimmering lights, and the trees seemed to whisper secrets as she walked. Lila soon encountered a wise old tortoise named Thorn. Thorn had a gentle demeanor and spoke with a voice that rumbled like distant thunder. "To proceed, you must solve a riddle," Thorn said. "Listen carefully. I have cities, but no houses. I have mountains, but no trees. I have water, but no fish. What am I?" Lila thought for a moment and then answered, "A map." Thorn nodded in approval and revealed a hidden path that would lead Lila further into the forest. "Follow this path, but be mindful of the magic that dwells within the woods," Thorn warned. The enchanted clearing. As Lila ventured deeper, she arrived at a stunning clearing bathed in moonlight. At the center of the clearing stood a magnificent, ancient tree with branches that sparkled like diamonds. The compass in Lila's hand began to spin wildly, its needle pointing directly at the tree. Lila approached the tree and saw a small door carved into its trunk. She hesitated for a moment, then gently opened the door, revealing a spiral staircase leading downward. With a deep breath, Lila descended the staircase, her heart pounding with anticipation. At the bottom of the stairs, Lila entered a cavern filled with glittering gemstones and golden artifacts. In the center of the cavern was a pedestal with a chest covered in delicate vines. The compass's needle pointed directly at the chest. The treasure and its guardian. As Lila approached the chest, a gentle but imposing figure emerged from the shadows. It was a guardian spirit with shimmering wings and a serene expression. "You have shown great courage and kindness," the guardian said. "To claim the treasure, you must answer one final question. What is the greatest treasure of all?" Lila thought deeply and replied, "The greatest treasure of all is the love and kindness we share with others." The guardian smiled warmly and nodded. "You have spoken the truth. This treasure is not just for one, but for all who are deserving." The chest slowly opened, revealing not gold or jewels, but a beautiful, glowing orb. The orb radiated a warm light that filled the cavern and then expanded outward, touching every corner of the Whispering Forest. The magic of the orb. As the light spread, Lila noticed that the forest around her began to flourish. The trees grew lush and green, and the animals came out to play, their coats gleaming with vitality. The orb's magic revitalized the land, ensuring that Greenhaven would never suffer from drought or famine again. Lila returned to her village with a heart full of joy and hope. The villagers marveled at the transformation and celebrated Lila's bravery. The enchantment brought prosperity to Greenhaven, and the village thrived like never before. The legacy. Lila's adventure became a cherished tale in Greenhaven, a story passed down through generations. The compass and the orb were revered as symbols of hope and kindness, reminding everyone that the true treasure lies in the love and selflessness we show to one another. And so, Greenhaven continued to flourish, forever blessed by the magic of the enchanted compass and the heart of one extraordinary young girl. Once upon a time, in a kingdom nestled between rolling hills and sparkling lakes, there was a small village known for its vibrant markets and friendly inhabitants. At the heart of the village stood an old curiosity shop run by a wise and kind woman named Eloan. Among the shop's many peculiar items was a dusty, ornate compass that had not been touched in years. This compass was no ordinary compass. It was known as the Whispering Compass, rumored to guide those who were lost not just physically, but in their hearts and minds. However, its true magic had long been forgotten. One crisp autumn day, a young boy named Finn, who had recently moved to the village, wandered into Eloan's shop. Finn was a dreamer with a heart full of adventure, but he often felt out of place in the village. He was searching for a sense of purpose and belonging. As Finn explored the shop, his gaze fell upon the Whispering Compass. It seemed to call out to him, and he picked it up with curiosity. The compass felt warm in his hand, and its needle twitched as if eager to move. Eloan noticed his fascination and told him the compass's story. This compass, Eloan explained, is said to guide those who seek their true path. It whispers gentle advice to those who listen closely. Intrigued, Finn decided to take the compass with him, hoping it might help him find his place in the village. That night, as the moonlight bathed his room in a soft glow, Finn took out the compass and held it close. The compass began to hum softly, and the needle spun before pointing decisively toward the window. Following the compass's direction, Finn ventured out into the moonlit village. The compass led him through winding streets and quiet alleys until it guided him to a beautiful, secluded garden at the edge of the village. The garden was filled with rare and fragrant flowers, each one glowing under the moonlight. In the center of the garden stood a grand, ancient oak tree with a hollow trunk. Finn approached the tree and, to his surprise, discovered a small, hidden door in the trunk. With a sense of wonder, he opened the door and found a tiny, enchanted room inside. The room was filled with old books, maps, and artifacts, each telling stories of adventures and dreams. As Finn explored the room, he noticed a dusty journal on a wooden table. The journal's pages were filled with drawings and notes about the village's history and its people. Among the pages, Finn found a map marking several key locations in the village, each associated with a story of someone who had found their true calling. Suddenly, the Whispering Compass glowed brightly, and a gentle, melodic voice filled the room. The true path lies in understanding and connecting with others. Share the stories you find and help others discover their dreams. Inspired by the compass's message, Finn decided to share the journal stories with the villagers. He began organizing gatherings where he told the tales of the village's past, the dreams of its people, and the adventures of those who had once lived there. The villagers were captivated by Finn's storytelling, and they began to feel a renewed sense of connection with their community and their own aspirations. The garden became a gathering place where people would come to share their dreams and find inspiration. Over time, Finn became an integral part of the village, helping others discover their own paths and dreams. The Whispering Compass continued to guide him, not just to places but to the hearts of those around him. Finn found that his true purpose was to bring people together and help them find their own sense of belonging. The village flourished with new energy and unity, and the once forgotten garden became a symbol of hope and discovery. The Whispering Compass, now a cherished artifact, was placed on display in Eloan's shop, a reminder of the magic that could be found in listening to one's heart and the power of sharing stories. And so, Finn's adventure led him to the heart of his own community, and the Whispering Compass's magic continued to inspire those who sought their true path. One story at a time. The end. Once upon a time, in a land where the moon bathed everything in silver light, there was a quaint village named Lunalore. The village was nestled in a valley surrounded by rolling hills and dense forests. It was known for its beautiful moonlit nights, when the moon seemed to touch the earth with its soft glow. In Lunalore lived a young girl named Mira. Mira had a special gift: she could talk to plants. From the tiniest flower to the tallest tree, Mira understood their whispers and songs. Every evening, she would wander the woods, tending to the plants and listening to their stories. One clear night, as Mira walked through the forest, she came across a hidden path she had never seen before. Curiosity piqued, she followed it until she reached a gate made of intertwined silver vines. The gate was adorned with glowing moonstones that shimmered in the moonlight. Mira gently pushed the gate open and stepped inside. Beyond the gate lay a breathtaking garden unlike anything Mira had ever seen. The garden was filled with luminescent flowers, their petals glowing softly in various shades of blue, pink, and violet. The air was filled with a sweet, enchanting fragrance, and the sound of delicate music seemed to emanate from the flowers themselves. In the center of the garden stood a grand, ancient oak tree with a hollow trunk. Mira approached the tree and noticed a small, intricately carved box nestled inside the hollow. The box was covered in strange, glowing symbols that seemed to pulse with the rhythm of the moonlight. As Mira reached for the box, a gentle voice spoke from behind her. "Welcome, kind soul," said a graceful fairy who appeared from among the flowers. Her wings sparkled like stardust, and her eyes twinkled with kindness. "I am Luna, the guardian of the moonlit garden." Mira, amazed and excited, responded, "Hello, Luna. This garden is magical. What is this box?" Luna smiled. "This box holds the secret of the moonlit garden. It contains a powerful magic that has been hidden away for centuries. To unlock its power, one must prove their heart is pure and their intentions noble." Mira felt a sense of purpose and asked, "How can I prove that?" Luna floated closer and explained, "The box can only be opened by answering 3 riddles. Each riddle is a test of wisdom, compassion, and bravery. If you succeed, the secret within will be revealed." With determination in her eyes, Mira nodded. Luna began with the first riddle. "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have nobody, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Mira thought carefully and then said, "An echo." The symbols on the box glowed warmly, and Luna nodded approvingly. "You have answered correctly. Now, for the second riddle, I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I?" Mira pondered the riddle and then answered, "A joke." The box's glow intensified, and Luna's smile widened. "Well done. Now, the final riddle, I am not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but water kills me. What am I?" Mira considered the riddle carefully. She thought of the things she had seen and experienced in her life. Finally, she said, "A fire." With that answer, the box's glow became blindingly bright. The lid of the box slowly opened, revealing a shimmering orb of moonlight. The orb floated gently out of the box and hovered in front of Mira and Luna. Luna spoke with reverence, "This is the heart of the garden. It holds the magic that keeps this garden alive and thriving. With its power, you can bring prosperity and harmony to your village." Mira was awestruck and asked, "How can I use this magic?" Luna's eyes shone with a gentle light. "The magic of the heart is meant to be shared. Use it with kindness and wisdom to help those in need. It will guide you in your journey." Mira took the heart of the garden with great care. As she left the magical garden and returned to her village, she carried with her a newfound sense of purpose. She used the garden's magic to help the villagers, heal the land, and bring joy and prosperity to Lunalore. The village flourished under Mira's care, and the garden remained a secret place of wonder, known only to those with a pure heart and noble intentions. And so, Mira's legend grew, and her name was remembered in stories and songs as the girl who discovered the secret of the moonlit garden and used its magic to bring light and love to her world. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling river, there was a girl named Elara. Elara was known throughout the village for her beautiful singing voice. From dawn till dusk, she would sing songs that made flowers bloom and warmed the hearts of everyone who heard her. One misty morning, while walking through the forest near her home, Elara discovered an old, ornate music box half buried beneath a blanket of fallen leaves. Intrigued, she brushed off the dirt and opened the box. Inside, she found a tiny, golden key and a note that read, "To unlock the magic of the melody, you must find the echoing glade." Elara's curiosity was piqued. The echoing glade was a place of legend in her village, a mystical meadow where the echoes of ancient melodies were said to linger. Determined to uncover the magic, Elara set out on a quest to find this hidden glade. Following the clues from the note, she journeyed deeper into the forest than she had ever gone before. The trees whispered secrets as she walked, and the path seemed to shimmer under the light of the sun. After hours of wandering, she reached a clearing with a single, grand oak tree in the center. The tree had a hollow trunk with a small door, just the right size for the golden key. Elara inserted the key into the door and turned it gently. The door creaked open, revealing a spiral staircase leading down into the earth. With a mixture of excitement and trepidation, she descended the staircase. At the bottom, Elara found herself in the echoing glade. The meadow was bathed in soft moonlight and filled with glowing flowers that danced to an invisible rhythm. At the center of the glade was a large, ancient harp, its strings glowing with a soft, magical light. Next to the harp stood a graceful figure, a fairy with wings that shimmered like the night sky. "Welcome, Elara," the fairy said with a voice like a melody. "I am Lyra, the guardian of the echoing glade. You have discovered the magic of the melody. To unlock its power, you must play the harp and sing a song from your heart." Elara approached the harp, her heart pounding with excitement. She began to play, her fingers gliding over the glowing strings. The harp's music filled the glade with a beautiful, enchanting melody. As she sang along, the air around her seemed to sparkle with magic, and the flowers swayed in harmony with the music. The melody grew stronger, and a gentle breeze carried the song throughout the forest. The magic of the echoing glade began to unfold, revealing hidden wonders, a canopy of twinkling lights, shimmering pools, and creatures of all kinds joining in the joyous celebration. Lyra watched with a smile as Elara's music brought the glade to life. "You have unlocked the magic of the melody," the fairy said. "Your song has restored the harmony of the forest and awakened the ancient magic that was once lost." As a token of gratitude, Lyra gave Elara a small, glowing vial filled with stardust. "This vial contains a part of the magic you have restored. It will guide you back to the echoing glade whenever you wish to return." Elara thanked the fairy and made her way back to her village, carrying the vial with her. As she arrived, she noticed that the village had been touched by the magic of her song. The flowers were blooming more brightly, and the air was filled with a gentle, melodic hum. From that day on, Elara's singing became even more enchanting. The magic of the echoing glade infused her music, and her songs brought joy and wonder to everyone who heard them. The tale of her adventure and the magical melody she discovered became a cherished story in the village. And every night, as Elara sang beneath the starlit sky, she felt the warmth of the echoing glade's magic, knowing that her music had not only unlocked the enchantment of the glade but had also woven its magic into the heart of her village. The end. Once upon a time, in the kingdom of Aurora, where the sky sparkled with stars and the moonlight danced across the land, there was a magical meadow known as the Moonlit Glade. The glade was famed for its enchanting melodies that could only be heard under the full moon, and it was said that these melodies held the power to fulfill one heart's deepest wish. In a small village on the edge of the glade lived a young girl named Arya. Arya was known for her beautiful singing voice, which could bring comfort to anyone who heard it. Despite her talent, Arya's life was filled with challenges. Her family was struggling to make ends meet, and her beloved younger brother, Leo, was sick with a mysterious illness that no healer could cure. One evening, as the full moon began to rise, Arya heard the call of the Moonlit Glade's melody. It was said that those with a true and selfless heart could discover the secret of the glade and use its magic to help others. Driven by love for her brother and hope for her family, Arya decided to venture into the glade to seek the melody's magic. With determination in her heart and a small lantern to light her way, Arya made her way to the edge of the glade as the moonlight bathed the meadow in a silvery glow. The air was filled with a soft, melodic hum that seemed to guide her steps. As she entered the glade, the melodies grew louder and more enchanting. In the center of the glade stood an ancient, majestic oak tree with branches that sparkled like stars. Hanging from the branches were luminous, silver musical notes that shimmered in the moonlight. Arya approached the tree, and as she did, the melody seemed to form words. "Only those who seek with a pure heart shall find the true melody. the tree whispered in a voice that was both gentle and wise. To uncover the magic, you must sing from your soul and reveal your deepest wish. Arya took a deep breath and began to sing. She poured all her love and hope into her song, her voice weaving through the moonlit air. The melody she sang was one of love, longing, and a deep desire to heal her brother. The glade responded, its music harmonizing with her song, creating a magical symphony that filled the night. As Arya sang, the tree's branches began to glow brighter, and a soft, radiant light enveloped the glade. The light converged at the base of the oak tree, forming a beautiful, glowing orb. The orb floated gently towards Arya, its light casting a warm and soothing glow. This is the moonlit melody, the tree's voice resonated. It holds the power to grant a single wish. Use it with love and selflessness. Arya took the orb with trembling hands, her heart filled with hope and gratitude. She made her way back to her village, her lantern guiding her through the night. When she arrived home, she placed the orb beside Leo's bed and whispered her wish, "Please, heal my brother and bring happiness to my family." The orb's light enveloped Leo, and within moments, his pale face began to regain its color. His breathing steadied, and he opened his eyes, smiling weakly at his sister. The illness that had plagued him vanished, leaving him healthy and full of life once more. The news of Leo's recovery spread quickly through the village, and the entire community rejoiced. Arya's family was overjoyed, and the village came together to celebrate the miracle that had touched their lives. Arya's selflessness and love had brought about a true blessing. As the moonlight continued to shine over Leora, the moonlit glade remained a place of magic and wonder. The melodies of the glade were known to inspire hope and joy, and Arya's story became a cherished tale of the power of a pure heart and the magic of the moonlit melodies. And so, Arya lived happily with her family, her voice continuing to bring comfort and joy to those around her. The moonlit glade continued to be a place where dreams were whispered under the stars, and the magic of the moonlight was celebrated with every melody. The end. The enchanted lantern in a faraway land ere the mountains touched the sky and the forests whispered ancient secrets. There was a village named Lumina. Lumina was a place of magic and wonder, known for its vibrant festivals and glowing lanterns that floated high into the night sky. These lanterns were not just for show, they were said to carry wishes to the stars. In this village lived a young girl named Mira. Mira was known for her bright smile and her boundless curiosity. Her greatest dream was to see the world beyond Lumina and to find the legendary enchanted lantern, a mystical artifact said to grant a single wish to anyone who found it. The mysterious map one crisp autumn evening, as the village prepared for the annual Lantern Festival, Mira discovered an old, dusty map hidden in her grandmother's attic. The map was adorned with intricate symbols and a glowing path leading to the enchanted lantern. Excited by her discovery, Mira decided to embark on a quest to find it. Before she left, Mira's grandmother gave her a small, silver locket that had been passed down through generations. This locket, her grandmother said, will guide you in times of need. Trust in its light and your heart. The journey begins with the map in hand and the locket around her neck. Mira set out on her adventure. The map led her through dense forests, over sparkling rivers, and up steep, misty mountains. Along the way, Mira encountered several magical creatures, a wise old owl, a playful brook sprite, and a gentle giant named Gorm. Each creature offered Mira a piece of advice. The owl spoke of the importance of wisdom and patience, the sprite warned her of hidden challenges, and Gorm advised her to rely on her courage and kindness. The hidden cavern. After days of traveling, Mira arrived at the base of a towering mountain. The map showed that the enchanted lantern was hidden in a secret cavern within the mountain. As she ventured into the dark cavern, the locket began to glow softly, illuminating her path. Inside the cavern, Mira faced a series of trials, a maze of glowing vines, a river of shimmering mist, and a bridge guarded by a riddle-speaking dragon. With the help of the locket's light and her newfound wisdom, Mira overcame each challenge with grace and determination. The enchanted lantern. At last, Mira reached the heart of the cavern. There, on a pedestal bathed in a soft, golden light, was the enchanted lantern. It was more beautiful than she had ever imagined, with delicate patterns of starlight etched into its surface. Mira approached the lantern, her heart pounding with anticipation. She took a deep breath and made her wish. I wish for the happiness and well-being of my village and everyone in it. As soon as she spoke her wish, the enchanted lantern glowed brightly, and a warm, comforting light filled the cavern. The light seemed to flow through Mira, filling her with a sense of peace and joy. A magical return. When Mira returned to Lumina, she was greeted with astonishment and celebration. The village was flourishing like never before, crops were bountiful, the rivers sparkled with clarity, and the lanterns floated higher and brighter than ever. Mira's bravery and selflessness had brought immense joy and prosperity to her village. The villagers celebrated with a grand festival, lighting lanterns that soared into the night sky, each one carrying a piece of their gratitude and love. A lasting legacy. The story of Mira and the enchanted lantern became a cherished tale in Lumina. Mira was remembered not just as a brave adventurer but as a beacon of hope and kindness. The locket she had used on her journey was placed in a special place in the village square, a reminder of the magic that lies in every act of selflessness and every wish made from the heart. And so, the village of Lumina continued to shine brightly under the light of its lanterns, forever guided by the courage and kindness of a young girl who had sought to bring happiness to her world. Once upon a time, in a bustling village nestled at the edge of a magical forest, there was an old, quaint shop known for its wondrous collection of antiques. The shop was run by an elderly man named Tobias, who was known far and wide for his knowledge of magical artifacts. One day, as he was dusting off the shelves, he discovered a hidden compartment in a wooden cabinet. Inside was a small, intricately carved music box that had been forgotten over the years. The music box was adorned with delicate patterns of stars and moons, and its surface shimmered with an otherworldly light. Intrigued, Tobias decided to play the music box. As he wound the key and opened the lid, a beautiful, haunting melody began to play. The notes seemed to dance in the air, and Tobias felt a sense of calm and wonder. Unbeknownst to Tobias, the music box had a special enchantment. It was said that the music box held the power to reveal hidden truths and grant a single wish to the one who truly believed in its magic. The enchantment had been waiting for someone with a pure heart to unlock its secrets. One day, a young girl named Ilara came into the shop. Ilara was known for her kindness and her love of music. When she saw the music box, her eyes lit up with curiosity and delight. Tobias noticed her fascination and told her about the music box's magical reputation. Ilara decided to take the music box home, hoping to uncover its secrets. That evening, as the moonlight streamed through her window, she played the music box's melody. As the notes filled the room, Ilara felt a sense of warmth and peace. She closed her eyes and made a heartfelt wish. I wish to bring joy and harmony to my village. As Ilara made her wish, the music box began to glow softly. Suddenly, a gentle breeze carried the melody outside, and the magic of the music box began to weave through the village. The melody touched the hearts of the villagers, filling them with a sense of unity and happiness. The once bustling and busy village began to transform into a place of joy and harmony. The next morning, the villagers awoke to find that their everyday troubles seemed lighter, and their interactions were filled with kindness and understanding. The village square, once a place of hustle and bustle, now resonated with laughter and music. The fields and gardens flourished, and a sense of tranquility settled over the village. Ilara noticed that the changes in the village were profound and magical. She returned to the shop to thank Tobias and to learn more about the music box. Tobias explained that the music box's enchantment was linked to the genuine wishes of those who believed in its magic. The box had responded to Ilara's pure-hearted wish and had brought about the transformation the village needed. Ilara continued to use the music box's melody to bring joy to the village, and the magical harmony it created became a cherished part of their lives. The villagers celebrated the music box's magic and the kindness of Ilara, who had brought a new sense of unity and happiness to their community. As the years passed, the music box remained a treasured artifact in the village. It was a symbol of the power of kindness and the magic that could be found in even the smallest of wishes. Ilara's story was told to generations, reminding them that the true magic of the music box lay in the pure-hearted wishes and the joy they could bring to the world. And so, the village thrived under the enchanting melody of the music box, and its magic continued to inspire hope and harmony for many years to come. The end. Once upon a time, in the tranquil kingdom of Eldoria, there was a mystical forest known for its towering trees and sparkling streams. At the heart of this forest stood an ancient tree called the Whispering Willow. This tree was renowned for its ability to grant a single wish to those who were truly pure of heart. In the village of Greenwood, which lay at the edge of the forest, there lived a kind-hearted young girl named Eloan. Eloan was known throughout the village for her compassion and her love for animals. She often wandered into the forest to care for the woodland creatures and to listen to the soothing rustle of the whispering willow's leaves. One day, as Eloan was tending to a wounded fawn, she heard a soft, sorrowful whisper carried by the wind. The whispering willow was speaking to her, though she could not understand its words. That night, she had a dream in which the willow told her that it was in grave danger. The tree's magic was fading, and with it, the balance of the entire forest was at risk. Determined to save the whispering willow and protect the forest she loved, Eloan set out on a quest to discover what was causing the willow's distress. She packed a small satchel with supplies and set off into the heart of the forest, guided by the gentle light of the moon. As Eloan ventured deeper into the forest, she encountered a series of magical creatures that tested her resolve. The first was a mischievous gnome named Bramble, who guarded the entrance to a hidden grove. To proceed, Bramble said with a twinkle in his eye, "You must answer my riddle." Bramble's riddle was, "I have keys but open no locks. I have space but no room. You can enter but not go outside. What am I?" Eloan thought for a moment and answered, "A piano." Bramble chuckled and handed her a small charm. "You may pass. This charm will help you find your way." With the charm in hand, Eloan continued her journey and soon arrived at a crystal-clear pond. Here, she met a wise old water nymph named Nira, who was known for her knowledge of the forest secrets. "To aid the Whispering Willow, you must first solve a question," Nira said. "What is the greatest force that can heal and restore?" Nira asked. Eloan replied, "The greatest force is love." Nira smiled warmly and handed Eloan a vial of enchanted water. "This will strengthen the willow's magic. But be cautious, for there are darker forces at work." With the vial in hand, Eloan made her way to the Whispering Willow. As she approached, she saw that the once vibrant tree was now withered and dim. Dark vines had begun to encroach upon the willow, draining its magic. Suddenly, a shadowy figure emerged from the gloom, a sorceress named Morwenna, who had been using dark magic to weaken the willow in order to take control of the forest's magic for herself. "You think you can stop me?" Morwenna sneered. "The power of the Whispering Willow will be mine." Eloan stood firm and said, "The magic of the forest belongs to all who cherish and protect it. I will not let you harm it." Morwenna raised her staff to cast a dark spell, but Eloan used the charm and the vial of enchanted water to counteract the sorceress's magic. As the water touched the roots of the Whispering Willow, the tree's magic began to rejuvenate, and the dark vines receded. The Whispering Willow's leaves began to rustle with renewed vigor, and a radiant light spread through the forest, driving Morwenna away. The sorceress, defeated, vanished into the shadows, and the balance of the forest was restored. The Whispering Willow, now vibrant and full of life, spoke to Eloan in a voice as gentle as the breeze. "Thank you, dear Eloan. Your bravery and pure heart have saved me and restored harmony to the forest. As a token of our gratitude, I grant you one wish." Eloan thought for a moment and then said, "I wish for the forest to remain safe and flourishing, so that all its creatures may thrive." The Whispering Willow's light grew even brighter, and the forest seemed to sing with joy. "Your wish is granted. The forest will be forever protected, and its magic will remain strong." Eloan returned to her village, where she was celebrated as a hero. The Whispering Willow continued to stand tall and radiant, its magic safeguarding the forest and its inhabitants. Eloan often visited the tree, sharing her love and care with the woodland creatures and listening to the willow's gentle whispers. And so, the kingdom of Eldoria thrived in peace and harmony, forever blessed by the magic of the whispering willow and the courage of a young girl who loved her forest. And they lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and a vast, ancient forest, there was a place known as the Whispering Woods. This forest was famous for its whispering trees that could talk, but only to those with pure hearts and noble intentions. Legend spoke of a hidden treasure deep within the woods that could bring peace and prosperity to anyone who found it. In this village lived a brave young boy named Leo. Leo was known for his kindness and courage, and he often helped his neighbors with their problems. One day, news arrived that the village was facing a severe drought, and the crops were failing. The villagers were worried and desperate. Leo, determined to help, decided to venture into the Whispering Woods to find the legendary treasure that could save them. Into the forest with the first light of dawn, Leo set off on his journey, carrying only a small satchel with provisions and a sturdy walking stick. As he entered the Whispering Woods, the trees seemed to come alive with rustling leaves and soft murmurs. The forest was dense and mysterious, but Leo's heart was steady and true. As he walked deeper into the forest, he encountered a wise old owl perched on a low branch. The owl, with its large, knowing eyes, greeted Leo. To find the treasure, you must first prove your worth by completing 3 challenges. The forest will guide you if you listen carefully. The first challenge, the enchanted stream. Leo followed the owl's advice and soon came upon a crystal-clear stream with shimmering water. The stream was magical but also very tricky. It flowed in strange patterns and seemed to change direction whenever Leo tried to follow it. On the bank of the stream, Leo found a message written in shimmering letters: "To cross the stream, you must solve the riddle of the water." What is as light as a feather, yet even the world's strongest man couldn't hold it for much longer than a minute? Leo pondered the riddle and then smiled as he realized the answer. "Breath," he said aloud. As he spoke, the water parted, revealing a bridge made of glistening stones.
Leo crossed the stream safely, feeling encouraged by his progress. The second challenge, the singing flowers. On the other side of the stream, Leo entered a meadow filled with flowers of every color. The flowers were singing in harmony, but their melodies were tangled and chaotic. Leo noticed a beautiful melody coming from a patch of flowers that seemed to be wilting. He approached the wilting flowers and gently tended to them, watering them with the water from the stream. As he did so, the flowers began to sing more clearly, their melodies becoming harmonious once more. The singing flowers formed a path leading Leo towards a grove at the heart of the forest. The third challenge, the guardian of the grove. In the grove, Leo found an ancient, grand oak tree with a face carved into its trunk. The oak tree was known as the guardian of the grove. Its deep voice resonated through the air as it spoke: "To earn the treasure, you must demonstrate the greatest gift of all. Share something of yourself willingly and without expectation." Leo thought about this carefully.
He reached into his satchel and pulled out a simple but precious locket, a family heirloom given to him by his grandmother. It was a symbol of his family's love and sacrifice. He placed the locket at the base of the oak tree. The oak's branches rustled in approval, and the ground beneath Leo's feet began to glow with a golden light. The guardian of the grove spoke again: "You have shown true selflessness and kindness. The treasure you seek lies beyond this grove." The hidden treasure. Following the glowing light, Leo arrived at a hidden clearing where a magnificent chest lay in the center. The chest was adorned with intricate patterns and glowing with a warm, golden light. Leo opened the chest, revealing a radiant, crystal orb. The moment Leo touched the orb, a warm, soothing light spread across the forest. The drought in his village was instantly lifted as the orb's magic began to bring rain and restore the crops. The trees of the Whispering Woods rustled in joy, and the forest seemed to come alive with vibrant colors. Returned to the village. Leo returned to his village, carrying the crystal orb with him. As he approached, the once dry fields were now lush and green, and the villagers were filled with amazement and joy. The orb had not only restored the land but had also brought a sense of peace and unity to the village. The villagers celebrated Leo's bravery and kindness with a grand feast, and the Whispering Woods were forever grateful for the young boy who had shown such a pure heart. The legend of the Whispering Woods continued to be told for generations, reminding everyone that true treasure lies in selflessness and compassion. And so, the village flourished once more, and Leo's story became a cherished tale of hope and heroism. The Whispering Woods remained a magical place, always ready to aid those with kind hearts. The end. In the heart of a lush, green valley, there lay a hidden village called Willow Glen. The village was known for its ancient willow tree, whose branches draped gracefully into a sparkling pond. This tree was said to possess magic that could grant one wish to those who proved themselves worthy. The village's guardian of the willow was a wise old woman named Elda, who knew all the secrets of the tree. One day, a young girl named Clara arrived in Willow Glen. She was on a quest to find her missing mother, who had mysteriously disappeared many moons ago. Clara had heard about the willow's magic and hoped it could help her find her mother. Elda welcomed Clara and listened to her story. The willow's magic is powerful, but to unlock it, you must complete 3 tasks that test your heart and spirit. Only then will the tree reveal the truth you seek. Determined to find her mother, Clara agreed to the tasks. Task 1, the Bridge of Courage. Clara's first task was to cross a rickety old bridge that spanned a deep chasm. The bridge was known for being unstable, with creaky wooden planks and a swift river below. As Clara approached, she noticed a small bird perched on the edge, chirping frantically. It turned out that the bird had lost its nest, which had fallen into the chasm. With great care, Clara used her courage and ingenuity. She tied vines together to create a makeshift rope and carefully descended into the chasm. There, she found the nest, gently retrieving it and climbing back up to the bridge. The grateful bird led Clara across the bridge, and as she reached the other side, the bridge steadied and became solid, allowing her to continue. Task 2, the Forest of Shadows. The second task led Clara into the Forest of Shadows, a place where darkness seemed to cling to every tree and path. The forest was said to be haunted by illusions and fears. Clara ventured in, her heart pounding as the shadows danced around her. In the midst of the forest, she encountered a giant, shadowy beast that blocked her way. Though frightened, Clara remembered the stories of her mother, who had taught her about kindness and bravery. She approached the beast and spoke softly, acknowledging its pain and fear. The beast, revealed to be a misunderstood spirit, was moved by Clara's compassion. It allowed her to pass and gave her a glowing crystal as a token of its gratitude. Task 3, the Lake of Truth. The final task was to seek the Lake of Truth, where Clara would find an answer to her quest. The lake was shrouded in mist, and its waters were still and mysterious. Clara approached the lake and gently placed the glowing crystal into the water. As the crystal touched the surface, the lake shimmered and a figure emerged, a vision of her mother, smiling warmly. Clara's heart soared with hope as her mother spoke through the mist. "I am safe, dear Clara. I chose to leave to protect you and our village from an ancient danger. The willow tree's magic has guided you here to find me, and now it is time for you to be brave and lead our people." The vision faded, and Clara felt a sense of peace and purpose. She returned to the village with the knowledge that her mother was safe and that she had been chosen to protect Willow Glen. Elda greeted Clara with pride and handed her a branch from the ancient willow tree. "You have completed the tasks with honor and bravery. The magic of the willow is now yours to protect and share." Clara embraced her new role, using the magic of the willow to bring prosperity and harmony to Willow Glen. The village flourished, and the ancient willow continued to stand tall, its magic a symbol of courage, love, and the strength found within. And so, Clara's journey became a cherished tale, passed down through generations, a reminder that even in the darkest times, bravery and kindness could light the way. Once upon a time, in a picturesque kingdom bordered by enchanted woods, there was a quaint village named Bramblewood. The villagers lived in harmony with nature, and their most cherished tradition was the annual Lantern Festival. Each year, they would light beautifully crafted lanterns to celebrate the bond between their world and the magical forest surrounding them. At the edge of the village lived a young girl named Mia. She was known for her adventurous spirit and her love of the forest, which she explored daily with her loyal companion, a clever fox named Finn. Mia's father was the village lantern maker, and she often helped him craft the intricate designs that would light up the sky during the festival. One autumn evening, as the lantern festival approached, Mia's father fell ill, leaving him unable to finish the most important lantern of the year, the Grand Lantern, which was said to bring blessings and protection to the village. Mia felt a deep sense of responsibility and wanted to ensure the lantern was ready. Her father had told her of an ancient legend that the Grand Lantern must be completed with a special light known as the Lantern of the Lost Forest. This magical light could only be found by someone pure of heart who ventured into the deepest part of the forest. Determined to save the festival and help her father, Mia set off with Finn into the heart of the forest. As they ventured deeper, the woods grew darker and more mysterious. The trees seemed to whisper secrets, and strange, glowing fungi dotted the path. Their journey took them to the edge of a hidden glade, where a sparkling river flowed through the center. There, by the water's edge, they found an old, crumbling bridge leading to a small island. At the center of the island stood a grand, ancient tree with shimmering leaves, a tree from which the lantern of the lost forest was said to hang. As Mia and Finn carefully crossed the bridge, they noticed a shimmering figure, an ethereal spirit of light, hovering near the tree. The spirit was gentle and serene, with eyes like pools of stardust. "Welcome, Mia," the spirit said in a voice like soft chimes. "I have been expecting you. To receive the lantern of the lost forest, you must first prove your worth." The spirit then revealed 3 trials, each designed to test Mia's courage, wisdom, and kindness. The first trial was to cross a treacherous river filled with swirling, magical currents. Mia used her wits and fashioned a makeshift raft from vines and fallen branches, allowing herself and Finn to safely cross. The second trial was to solve a riddle posed by a wise old owl perched high in the tree's branches. The riddle was, "I have cities, but no houses. I have mountains, but no trees. I have water, but no fish. What am I?" Mia thought deeply and answered, "A map." The owl hooted with approval and granted them passage to the final trial. For the third trial, Mia had to demonstrate her kindness. She came across a wounded fawn struggling to walk. Without hesitation, Mia and Finn carefully tended to the fawn's injury, using herbs and gentle care to heal it. The fawn, now strong and lively, nuzzled Mia in gratitude. With the final trial complete, the spirit of light appeared once more and smiled warmly. "You have shown courage, wisdom, and kindness. You are worthy of the lantern of the lost forest." The spirit led Mia and Finn to a hidden alcove where the lantern, glowing with a soft, golden light, was suspended from a branch. Mia carefully took the lantern, and its light seemed to grow brighter with each step they took, guiding them back to Bramblewood. Upon their return, the villagers were overjoyed to see Mia with the Grand Lantern completed and the lantern of the lost forest. As night fell and the festival began, Mia and Finn placed the lantern in its special place, where it bathed the village in a warm, protective glow. The lantern's light seemed to weave through the air, creating patterns of hope and joy. The Lantern Festival was the most magnificent one Bramblewood had ever seen. The light from the Grand Lantern, enriched by the magic of the Lantern of the Lost Forest, filled every corner of the village with a sense of wonder and unity. Mia's father, though still recovering, was deeply touched by his daughter's bravery and the love shown by the villagers. And so, the legend of the Lantern of the Lost Forest was celebrated year after year, reminding the villagers of the power of courage, wisdom, and kindness. Mia's adventure became a beloved tale, passed down through generations, inspiring all who heard it to seek the light within their own hearts. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a kingdom known for its breathtaking meadows and sparkling rivers, there was a small village called Starfield. Starfield was famous for a single, extraordinary flower called the Starflower. This rare flower bloomed only once every 100 years under the light of the full moon and was said to hold the secret to endless happiness. In this village lived a kind-hearted girl named Elara. Elara was known for her love of nature and her deep sense of wonder. She had heard stories about the starflower all her life and dreamed of seeing it in bloom. However, as the time for the starflower's appearance approached, a mysterious fog began to cover the kingdom, preventing the villagers from reaching the meadow where the starflower grew. Determined to see the starflower and bring its magic to her village, Elara decided to embark on a quest to uncover its secret. She packed a small satchel with essentials, her grandmother's old compass, a lantern, and a book of local legends. With her trusty cat, Whiskers, by her side, Elara set off towards the fog-covered meadow. As they ventured into the fog, Elara and Whiskers encountered a wise old owl perched on a branch. The owl's eyes glowed like the moon, and it greeted them with a knowing look. "Greetings, brave traveler," the owl said. "The path to the starflower is obscured by the fog. To clear the way, you must find 3 enchanted items hidden within the forest." Elara nodded, her resolve strengthening. "What are these items?" The owl replied, "The items are a moonstone, a silver feather, and a crystal tear. They hold the power to dispel the fog and reveal the path to the starflower." With this knowledge, Elara and Whiskers set off to find the enchanted items. Their first destination was the Moonstone Cave, a hidden grotto said to glow with moonlight. Inside the cave, they found the moonstone resting on a pedestal surrounded by shimmering crystals. To retrieve it, Elara had to solve a puzzle etched into the pedestal. "I am not alive, but I grow. I don't have lungs, but I need air. I don't have a mouth, but water fills me. What am I?" Elara thought carefully and answered, "Fire." The pedestal opened, and the moonstone was revealed. Next, they journeyed to the Whispering Grove, where the silver feather was said to be hidden. The grove was filled with trees that seemed to whisper secrets to one another. As Elara walked among them, a gentle breeze rustled the leaves, revealing a nest high in the branches. In the nest was a magnificent silver feather, glowing softly. As she carefully retrieved the feather, the whispers of the grove grew more harmonious, guiding her to her next destination. The final item, the crystal tear, was located in the heart of the forest, a mystical glade where magical creatures gathered. Elara found the glade, but the crystal tear was guarded by a mischievous sprite named Pippin. Pippin challenged Elara to a game of riddles. "If you can solve my riddle, the crystal tear will be yours. If not, you must leave empty-handed." Pippin's riddle was, "I am always in front of you but never seen. I am what you leave behind when you move forward. What am I?" Elara thought for a moment and answered, "A shadow." Pippin smiled and handed over the crystal tear, acknowledging Elara's cleverness. With the 3 enchanted items, Moonstone, Silver Feather, and Crystal Tear, Elara and Whiskers returned to the fog-covered meadow. As they approached, Elara placed the items in a special order she had learned from the legends. The moonstone was set on a pedestal, the silver feather was gently placed beside it, and the crystal tear was held high. The fog began to lift, revealing a path leading to the heart of the meadow. There, bathed in moonlight, was the starflower, its petals shimmering with a radiant, ethereal glow. The sight was even more magnificent than Elara had imagined. As Elara approached the starflower, a soft voice filled the air. "You have shown great bravery and determination. The secret of the starflower is not just in its beauty but in the joy you've brought to others through your quest." With this realization, Elara felt a deep sense of happiness. She knew that the magic of the starflower would be a beacon of hope and joy for her village. As she returned to Starfield, the fog had completely vanished, and the villagers greeted her with cheers and celebration. The starflower's magic brought prosperity and happiness to the village, and Elara's story became a cherished legend, reminding everyone of the power of courage, kindness, and the pursuit of dreams. And so, Elara, Whiskers, and the village of Starfield lived happily ever after, always carrying the light and magic of the starflower in their hearts. I hope you enjoyed this fairy tale. Once upon a time, in a hidden corner of the world, there lay a kingdom known as Luminera. Luminera was famous for its breathtaking gardens and its ethereal moonlit nights. However, the kingdom's most precious secret was a flower called the moonflower, which bloomed only once every 100 years under the light of the full moon. Legend had it that the moonflower could grant a single wish to anyone who found it, but finding it was no easy task. In the village of Willowbrook, nestled at the edge of Luminara's enchanted forest, lived a kind-hearted girl named Elowen. Elowen loved the stories of the moonflower, and she dreamed of finding it to help her village, which had been suffering from a long drought. One evening, as the full moon began to rise in the sky, Elowen decided to embark on a quest to find the elusive moonflower. She packed a small satchel with provisions and set off into the forest, guided by the shimmering light of the moon. The forest was alive with the sounds of nocturnal creatures, and the moonlight cast a silvery glow on the trees. Elowen followed a winding path that seemed to be illuminated by a gentle, otherworldly light. She came across a wise old owl perched on a branch. "Good evening, wise owl," Elowen greeted. "Can you help me find the moonflower?" The owl, whose feathers sparkled like stardust, looked at her with keen eyes. "The moonflower is not easily found, for it hides in a place where light meets shadow and dreams intertwine with reality. You must follow your heart and trust in the guidance of the moon." Elowen thanked the owl and continued her journey. As she walked, she noticed that the moonlight seemed to form patterns on the forest floor, leading her to a hidden glade. In the center of the glade stood a large, ancient tree with branches that seemed to reach out to the sky. Under the tree, Elowen found a stone pedestal with intricate carvings of stars and moons. Atop the pedestal was a small, delicate box. Inside the box was a silver key and a note that read, "To find the moonflower. Seek the grove where dreams are born. Follow the melody of the moon and the whispers of the night." Elowen looked around and noticed a faint, melodic tune carried by the breeze. She followed the music to a nearby grove, where the trees glowed softly in the moonlight. In the heart of the grove, a crystal-clear pond reflected the light of the full moon. By the edge of the pond, Elowen saw a shimmering path of moonlight leading to a hidden entrance beneath the roots of a great tree. She used the silver key to unlock the entrance, revealing a staircase that descended into the depths of the earth. With determination, Elowen climbed down the staircase, which led her to an underground cavern bathed in a soft, mystical glow. In the center of the cavern was a pedestal with a single, radiant moonflower in full bloom. Its petals glowed with an iridescent light, and the air around it seemed to hum with magic. Elowen approached the moonflower with awe. She gently picked it, knowing that she had to make her wish. She closed her eyes and wished for rain to fall upon her drought-stricken village, hoping that it would bring life back to the land and restore hope to her people. As soon as Elowen made her wish, the moonflower's petals began to sparkle and emit a brilliant light. The light grew brighter and brighter until it enveloped the cavern. When the light faded, Elowen found herself back at the edge of the forest, the moonflower safely in her hands. She hurried back to Willowbrook, where she was greeted by a sky filled with dark, rain-laden clouds. As she arrived, the first drops of rain began to fall. The villagers watched in amazement as the rain nourished the parched earth, and the once dry river began to flow again. Elowen's wish had come true, and the village thrived once more. The story of the moonflower and Elowen's bravery became a cherished legend, reminding everyone of the magic that lies in selfless wishes and the power of hope. And so, Luminara remained a kingdom of wonder and prosperity, forever touched by the light of the moonflower and the courage of a young girl who followed her heart. The end. Once upon a time, in the lush kingdom of Everwood, there was a serene village called Rivenshire, known for its shimmering silver willow tree that stood at the heart of the village square. This tree was said to possess magical properties, and its silver leaves glowed with a soft, comforting light each night. The villagers believed that as long as the tree flourished, their land would remain blessed with peace and prosperity. In Rivenshire lived a curious and kind-hearted girl named Arya. Arya was fascinated by the mysteries of the silver willow and often spent hours sitting beneath its branches, dreaming of grand adventures. One crisp autumn morning, Arya awoke to find that the tree's glow had dimmed, and its once vibrant leaves had turned dull and lifeless. The village was in turmoil, and the usually joyful atmosphere was clouded with worry. the village elder, a wise woman named Eloise, gathered the villagers and revealed an ancient prophecy. When the silver willow's light fades, it signals the need for a pure-hearted soul to embark on a quest to restore its magic. Only one with a true spirit can uncover the tree's hidden secret and save the land. Determined to help her village, Arya volunteered to undertake this quest. With her faithful companion, a clever raven named Corvus, she set off on a journey to discover the cause of the tree's malaise and to restore its magic. Arya and Corvus ventured into the Whispering Forest, where the trees seemed to murmur ancient secrets. Their first challenge was a deep chasm with no visible way across. As Arya contemplated how to cross, a shimmering figure appeared, a graceful fairy with delicate wings. "To cross this chasm, you must answer my riddle," the fairy said in a melodious voice. "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have nobody, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Arya pondered and then answered, "An echo." The fairy smiled and waved her wand, creating a bridge of sparkling light that spanned the chasm. Arya and Corvus crossed safely and continued their journey deeper into the forest. Soon, they reached a dense thicket where the path was obscured by tangled vines. An old, wise tortoise emerged from the underbrush, watching them with kind eyes. "To pass through this thicket, you must demonstrate wisdom," the tortoise said. "What has a heart that doesn't beat?" Arya thought carefully and then replied, "An artichoke." The tortoise nodded in approval, and the vines parted, revealing a hidden path. As they followed the path, they arrived at a hidden glade where the silver willow stood, but its branches were entangled in dark, twisting vines. At the center of the glade was an ancient, gnarled tree with a dark aura. The tree was guarded by a menacing figure, a sorcerer named Malvern, who had cast a spell to drain the silver willow's magic for his own gain. "You cannot save the silver willow," Malvern sneered. "Its magic is mine now." Arya stood her ground, her heart pounding but her spirit unwavering. The silver willow's magic belongs to the land and its people. It should be used to bring light and joy, not for selfish desires. Malvern raised his staff, ready to strike, but Corvus swooped down and pecked at the sorcerer's hand, causing him to drop his staff. In the ensuing struggle, Arya found the source of the dark spell, a cursed crystal embedded in the ancient tree. With a burst of courage, she removed the crystal and shattered it with a powerful strike. As the cursed crystal broke, the dark vines receded, and the silver willow began to glow with a radiant light. The tree's branches unfurled, and its leaves shimmered with renewed brilliance. The magic of the willow spread throughout the glade, dispelling the darkness and restoring peace to the land. With the silver willow's light restored, Arya and Corvus returned to Rivenshire. The villagers greeted them with joy and celebration, grateful for their bravery and perseverance. The silver willow was once again the heart of the village, its glow a symbol of hope and harmony. Arya's name became a legend in Rivenshire, and her story was told for generations as a reminder of the power of courage, wisdom, and a pure heart. And so, the village of Rivenshire thrived, bathed in the soft, comforting light of the silver willow, living happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a land where the sun kissed the rolling hills and the breeze danced through the trees, there was an enchanted forest. The forest was known for its mystical creatures and magical wonders, but its most precious secret was a lost crown that had been missing for centuries. Long ago, the crown belonged to Queen Seraphina, a kind and wise ruler whose kingdom was filled with prosperity and peace. The crown was said to have the power to bring harmony to the land, but it vanished during a great storm. The kingdom fell into disarray, and the enchanted forest became a place of mystery and legend. In a small village on the edge of the enchanted forest lived a brave girl named Lyra. Lyra was known for her curiosity and her love for adventure. One day, while exploring the village's old library, she came across a tattered scroll with a map of the enchanted forest. The scroll hinted at the location of the lost crown. Lyra's heart raced with excitement. She decided to embark on a quest to find the crown and restore peace to the land. With a small satchel of supplies and a sense of determination, she set off into the forest. As Lyra ventured deeper into the enchanted forest, she encountered a series of magical beings who offered her guidance. The first was a wise old turtle named Tiberius, who was known for his knowledge of the forest. "Welcome, young traveler," Tiberius said in a deep, gravelly voice. "To find the lost crown, you must pass 3 trials. The first is the trial of courage. Follow the path of glowing mushrooms to find the hidden cave." Lyra thanked Tiberius and followed the path marked by the glowing mushrooms. The trail led her to a dark, mysterious cave. Inside, she faced her fear of the unknown and navigated through the shadows until she found a hidden chamber. There, she discovered a crystal vial filled with sparkling stardust, which was the key to the next trial. Exiting the cave, Lyra continued her journey and soon met a graceful deer named Alara, who guided her to a shimmering waterfall. "The second trial is the trial of wisdom," Alara explained. "You must solve the riddle of the waterfall to proceed." Lyra listened carefully as the waterfall began to speak in a gentle, rhythmic tone. The riddle was about balance and harmony, and after some thought, Lyra answered correctly. The waterfall parted to reveal a hidden path leading to a serene glade, where she found a golden leaf with intricate engravings. With the leaf in hand, Lyra proceeded to the final trial. The path led her to a grove where the trees seemed to whisper and sway in a rhythmic dance. Here, she encountered a mystical unicorn named Orion. "The final trial is the trial of kindness," Orion said. "You must help a creature in need to earn the last piece of the crown." In the grove, Lyra found a small, injured bird with a broken wing. She carefully tended to the bird, using her knowledge of herbs and her gentle touch to heal it. The bird chirped gratefully and flew off, leaving behind a delicate, silver feather. With the feather in hand, Lyra returned to the enchanted forest's heart, where she placed the stardust, golden leaf, and silver feather on an ancient altar. The forest's magic began to swirl around her, and a radiant light emerged from the altar, revealing the lost crown, which gleamed with an otherworldly glow. Lyra carefully picked up the crown and felt its powerful energy. She made her way back to the kingdom, where she placed the crown on a pedestal in the village square. The crown's magic spread throughout the land, bringing peace and prosperity back to the kingdom. The villagers celebrated Lyra's bravery and kindness, and the story of her quest was passed down through generations as a reminder of the power of courage, wisdom, and compassion. The enchanted forest became a place of harmony and wonder, and the lost crown was cherished as a symbol of hope and unity. And so, the kingdom thrived once more, forever touched by the magic of the enchanted forest in the heart of a brave girl who restored its lost crown. The end. Once upon a time, in a small village called Meadowbrook, there lived a young girl named Zara. Zara was known for her adventurous spirit and her love for animals. Every day, she would explore the fields and forests surrounding her village, always in search of something new and exciting. One sunny morning, as Zara wandered through the forest, she came across a peculiar sight. A beautiful golden feather lay on the ground, shimmering in the sunlight. She picked it up and marveled at its beauty. Suddenly, a soft voice spoke to her. "Hello, Zara," the voice said. Zara looked around but saw no one. "Down here," the voice continued. She looked down and saw a small, talking squirrel. "Did you just speak to me?" Zara asked, astonished. "Yes," replied the squirrel. "I am Nutmeg, the guardian of the forest. That feather you hold is from the great phoenix, a magical bird that brings life and prosperity to our land. But the phoenix has been captured by the wicked sorcerer, Malakar, and now the forest is in danger." Zara's heart filled with determination. "What can I do to help?" Nutmeg explained, "To free the phoenix, you must journey to Malakar's castle and retrieve 3 enchanted items, the silver key, the crystal orb, and the ruby heart. Only then can you break the spell and set the phoenix free." Without hesitation, Zara agreed to the quest. Nutmeg handed her a small, glowing compass. "This will guide you to the enchanted items," he said. "Be careful, and trust in your bravery and kindness." Zara set off on her journey, following the compass's light. Her first destination was the Caves of Mystery, where the silver key was hidden. The caves were dark and filled with echoes, but Zara pressed on, her heart steady. she encountered bats and tricky paths but remained undeterred. Finally, she found the silver key resting on a pedestal, guarded by a large stone golem. Using her wits, Zara solved the riddle inscribed on the pedestal, and the golem allowed her to take the key. Next, the compass led her to the Lake of Dreams, where the crystal orb was kept. The lake was serene, its waters sparkling under the moonlight. Zara spotted the orb at the lake center, floating on a lily pad. As she reached for it, a water spirit emerged, testing her purity of heart. Zara spoke kindly to the spirit, sharing stories of her love for the forest and its creatures. Moved by her sincerity, the spirit gifted her the crystal orb. Finally, the compass guided Zara to the Garden of Thorns, where the ruby heart was hidden. The garden was filled with thorny bushes and venomous plants, but Zara carefully navigated through. At the garden's heart, she found a giant rosebush with a single, glowing red rose, the ruby heart. As she reached for it, the rosebush came to life, its thorns ready to strike. Zara sang a lullaby her mother used to sing, soothing the bush and allowing her to take the ruby heart. With all three items in hand, Zara made her way to Malakar's castle. The dark fortress loomed before her, but she entered with resolve. Inside, she found Malakar, who laughed at her bravery. "You think you can defeat me, little girl?" he sneered. Zara stood tall. "I have come to free the phoenix and restore the forest." Using the silver key, she unlocked the enchanted cage holding the phoenix. Then, she used the crystal orb to reveal the spell binding the phoenix, and finally, she placed the ruby heart on the phoenix's chest, breaking the spell. The great phoenix burst forth in a blaze of golden light, its majestic wings spreading wide. Malakar, blinded by the light, fled the castle, never to be seen again. The phoenix turned to Zara, its eyes filled with gratitude. "Thank you, brave Zara," the phoenix said. "You have saved me and the forest. As a token of my gratitude, I grant you a wish." Zara thought for a moment and then said, "I wish for the forest to always be safe and for the villagers to live in peace and harmony." The phoenix nodded and granted her wish. The forest flourished, and Meadowbrook prospered. Zara returned to her village a hero, and the villagers celebrated her bravery and kindness. From that day on, the great phoenix watched over the forest, and Zara's tale was told for generations. Her courage, wisdom, and kindness became a guiding light for all who heard it. And so, Zara lived a long and happy life, always exploring and protecting the forest she loved so dearly, knowing that true magic lies in the heart of those who dare to care. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and a shimmering river, there was a mysterious grove known only to the most adventurous of souls. This grove was said to be enchanted, its magic visible only to those with pure hearts. In this village lived a kind-hearted girl named Elara. She was known for her bravery and compassion, often helping the villagers with their troubles. Despite her gentle nature, she had always been wary of the enchanted grove, for tales of strange creatures and hidden wonders surrounded it. One bright autumn morning, as Elara tended her garden, a soft voice called out to her from the direction of the grove. Startled, she looked up to see a small, shimmering figure standing at the edge of the forest. It was a fairy with iridescent wings and a twinkling smile. "Greetings, Elara," the fairy said. "I am Lumina, the guardian of the enchanted grove. I have been watching over you and see the goodness in your heart. Our grove is in trouble, and only someone like you can help us." Elara's curiosity overcame her fear. "How can I assist you?" Lumina's eyes sparkled with gratitude. "The grove is losing its magic. A dark sorcerer named Morcar has stolen the Heartstone, the source of our enchantment. Without it, our home is fading away. We need your help to retrieve it." Elara agreed without hesitation, feeling a sense of purpose. Lumina led her to the edge of the grove where an ancient oak stood, its branches glowing faintly. The fairy handed Elara a silver locket. "This locket will guide you through the grove. Trust in its magic." With the locket in hand, Elara stepped into the grove. The trees seemed to whisper as she walked, their leaves rustling in a language only she could understand. The path twisted and turned, but the locket's gentle glow kept her on course. As she ventured deeper, Elara encountered various magical creatures, playful sprites, wise old owls, and even a grumpy troll who guarded a rickety bridge. Each creature offered her a clue or a piece of advice, and Elara listened with patience and respect. At last, she reached a clearing where a dark, foreboding tower stood. Morkar's lair. The Heartstone's magic was faint, but it pulsed with a soft, rhythmic glow. Elara took a deep breath and approached the tower. Inside, Morkar sat on a throne made of shadows, clutching the Heartstone. His eyes glowed with malevolence. "Who dares to challenge me?" he roared, his voice echoing through the cold chamber. Elara stepped forward, her heart pounding but her spirit unwavering. "I am Elara, and I come to return what you have stolen." Morkar sneered. "You are brave, but bravery alone will not be enough. You must face my trials to prove your worth." He conjured 3 trials, a labyrinth of illusions, a sea of enchanted mist, and a riddle spoken by a dragon. Elara faced each challenge with courage and wisdom. The labyrinth unraveled when she recognized the true path through her own reflection, the mist parted when she spoke from her heart, and the dragon's riddle was solved by remembering the kindness she had shown to others. Impressed by her resolve, Morkar's heart began to soften. He realized that his own heart had hardened over the years, and he was moved by Elara's purity and determination. "Perhaps," Morkar said slowly, "I have been wrong. The Heartstone does not belong to me, but to the grove it protects. You may take it." Elara accepted the Heartstone with a humble nod. As she left the tower, the grove's magic began to swirl around her, its vibrant colors and soothing melodies filling the air. The Heartstone was returned to its rightful place, and the enchantment of the grove was restored. Lumina and the other magical creatures welcomed Elara with joy and gratitude. The grove flourished anew, its beauty more radiant than ever. As a token of their appreciation, the fairy granted Elara a single wish. Elara wished for the grove's magic to always be a beacon of hope and kindness for all who sought its wonders. Her wish was granted, and the enchanted grove became a place where dreams and deeds of goodness intertwined. From that day on, Elara visited the grove often, not as a visitor but as a cherished friend. And the grove, in turn, continued to watch over the village and its kind-hearted inhabitants, ensuring that its magic lived on through acts of bravery and love. And so, the enchanted tale of Elara and the magical grove became a legend, reminding all who heard it that true magic lies in the heart of those who dare to be kind and courageous. The end. Once upon a time, in a land where the moonlight bathed everything in a soft, silver glow, there was a quaint village named Selene. This village was famous for its breathtaking night skies, and its people cherished the gentle beauty of the moon. They believed that the moon was enchanted and that it had the power to grant a single wish to anyone who could play a melody under its light. In this village lived a young girl named Lyra, known for her remarkable talent with the flute. Lyra's music was said to bring peace and joy to anyone who heard it. Her greatest wish was to see her village prosper, for they had faced many hardships recently. Crops had failed, and the once lively river that flowed through Selene had nearly dried up. One evening, as the full moon rose high in the sky, casting its silvery light over the village, Lyra made up her mind to seek the moon's magic. She took her beloved flute, crafted from the wood of an ancient, enchanted tree, and walked to the top of the hill that overlooked the village. Lyra sat down on a smooth rock and began to play a soft, melodic tune. Her music floated on the cool night air, weaving through the trees and across the quiet streets. As she played, she noticed a shimmering figure emerging from the moonlight. It was a beautiful, ethereal creature with wings like gossamer and eyes that sparkled like stars. The moonlit figure spoke in a voice that was both musical and soothing. "Greetings, Lyra. I am Lunara, the moon spirit. I have heard your melody and felt the purity of your heart. You have one wish to make tonight, but to receive its blessing, you must first complete a quest." Lyra's heart skipped a beat. "What must I do, Lunara?" Lunara's eyes twinkled with gentle wisdom. "In the enchanted forest, there is a hidden grove where the moonflower blooms. This flower holds the essence of the moon's magic. To restore prosperity to your village, you must find the moonflower and bring it back. The path to the grove will reveal itself to you when your heart is true. With newfound determination, Lyra set off towards the enchanted forest. Guided by the moonlight and her inner resolve, she navigated through dense underbrush and ancient trees. The forest seemed alive with whispers of encouragement and the soft rustling of leaves. After a time, Lyra came upon a shimmering stream that wound through the forest. The water sparkled with moonlight, and a delicate bridge of silver mist arched over the stream. As she crossed, the mist seemed to sing along with her melody, guiding her forward. Beyond the stream, Lyra entered a tranquil grove bathed in moonlight. In the center of the grove stood the moonflower, its petals glowing with a soft, ethereal light. Lyra approached the flower with reverence, gently picking it and wrapping it carefully in a silken cloth she had brought with her. As she turned to leave, a gentle breeze swirled around her, carrying the faint sound of her melody back to the village. The breeze seemed to whisper encouragement, and Lyra felt a deep sense of peace. Returning to Selene, Lyra placed the moonflower in the center of the village square. The flower's light began to spread, and the once dried river started to flow again, its waters sparkling and clear. The crops in the fields began to grow lush and green, and the village was filled with a sense of renewed hope and prosperity. The villagers gathered around, marveling at the transformation. They celebrated Lyra's bravery and her beautiful music, which had not only restored their land but had also touched their hearts deeply. Under the moonlit sky, Lyra played her flute one more time, her melody blending with the magic of the moonflower. Lenara appeared once more, her form glowing with a serene light. You have fulfilled your quest with a pure heart and a selfless spirit. The moon's magic will always shine upon your village, guiding it with prosperity and joy. The village of Selene thrived under the moon's gentle light, and Lyra's music continued to bring joy to everyone who heard it. The story of the moonlit melody became a beloved legend, a reminder of the magic that lies in the purity of one's heart and the power of a wish made under the light of the moon. And so, with the moon watching over them, Lyra and her village lived happily ever after, their hearts forever touched by the magic of the moonlit melody. Once upon a time, in a land not so far away, there was a magical forest known for its whispering trees and shimmering lights. The enchanted forest was a place where dreams danced on moonbeams and every creature had a touch of magic in its heart. In the heart of this forest stood an ancient oak tree, revered by all as the Whispering Oak. It was said that this tree could speak to those who truly listened, sharing secrets and wisdom from ages past. Many people from distant lands would visit, hoping to hear its enchanting tales, but only a few ever did. One day, a young girl named Lila, with hair like spun gold and eyes full of curiosity, wandered into the forest. She had heard tales of the Whispering Oak from her grandmother and yearned to hear its stories herself. Lila's family had always lived on the edge of the enchanted forest, and though she'd played among the trees many times, she had never ventured deep enough to find the legendary oak. Lila set out early in the morning, carrying a small basket filled with honey cakes, her favorite treat. As she walked, the forest seemed to welcome her. The leaves rustled softly, and the air was filled with the gentle hum of magic. Birds with feathers of gold sang melodies that only added to the forest's allure. After several hours of walking, Lila came upon a clearing bathed in soft sunlight. At the center stood the Whispering Oak, its branches stretching high and wide, as if to embrace the sky. The tree was even more magnificent than she had imagined, with leaves that shimmered like emeralds and bark that seemed to glow with an inner light. Lila approached the tree, her heart pounding with excitement. She sat down at its base and placed her basket beside her. "Hello," she said softly, unsure if the tree could hear her. "I've come to listen to your stories." At first, there was silence. Lila waited, watching the light dance through the branches. Just as she was about to give up, a gentle voice, as soft as the breeze, spoke from the oak. "Welcome, dear child," it said. "Few have come with a heart as pure as yours. What tales would you hear?" Lila was taken aback but quickly regained her composure. "I would love to hear a story about bravery and kindness," she replied. The whispering oak rustled its leaves thoughtfully before beginning its tale. Long ago, before the forest was as we see it now, there was a small village at the edge of a great mountain. The villagers lived in harmony, but their peace was shattered when a fearsome dragon, known as Draven, came down from the mountain and demanded tribute from the people. Lila listened intently as the tree continued. Draven was not just any dragon. He had scales as dark as night and eyes that could turn even the bravest heart to stone. The villagers were terrified, for no one could stand against him. But in their midst was a young woman named Elara. She was neither strong nor powerful, but she possessed a heart full of courage and kindness. One day, Elara decided to face Draven. She gathered her most precious belongings, a silver locket given by her mother and a bouquet of wildflowers, and set off for the dragon's lair. When she arrived, Draven loomed over her like a shadow. The villagers had thought she was foolish, but Elara knew that true bravery lay not in might but in the willingness to confront fear with compassion. The dragon, curious about her audacity, asked her why she had come. Elara held up the locket and said, "This locket is a symbol of my love for my family. I've come to ask you to leave my village in peace, not because we fear you, but because we wish to understand you. I bring these flowers as a token of our willingness to offer friendship." Draven was taken aback. No one had ever approached him with such a gesture. He took the flowers, his heart softened by Elara's bravery and kindness. Over time, the dragon became a protector of the village rather than a menace. Elara's act of courage transformed not only her own life but the fate of her entire village. The Whispering Oak story ended, and the clearing fell silent once more. Lila felt a warmth in her heart, touched by the tale of bravery and kindness. "Thank you," she said to the tree, "for sharing such a beautiful story." The Whispering Oak rustled its leaves gently. "Remember, dear child, true courage is not the absence of fear but the strength to face it with kindness." Lila smiled, feeling a newfound sense of courage and hope. As she made her way back home, she knew that the Whispering Oak's wisdom would guide her in her own life, just as it had guided many before her. And so, Lila returned to her village, carrying with her the magic of the enchanted forest and the lessons learned from the Whispering Oak. She knew that, with bravery and kindness in her heart, she too could change the world. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in the beautiful kingdom of Luminera, there lived a wise and kind-hearted king named Eric and his equally beloved queen, Elara. They had a daughter named Amara, who was as brave as she was beautiful. Amara loved her people and spent her days learning about the kingdom and helping those in need. But despite her cheerful demeanor, there was always a sense of mystery about her. One fateful day, Queen Elara fell gravely ill. Despite the efforts of the kingdom's best healers, her condition continued to worsen. Desperate to save her mother, Princess Amara sought the counsel of the kingdom's oldest sage, an elderly woman named Matilda who lived in a secluded cottage deep within the Whispering Woods. Matilda listened intently to Amara's plight. "There is one thing that might save your mother," she said, her voice trembling with age. "The enchanted mirror of Seraphine. It possesses powerful magic that can heal even the gravest of illnesses. However, it is hidden in the Forbidden Fortress, guarded by fierce creatures and treacherous traps." Without hesitation, Amara decided to embark on the perilous journey to find the enchanted mirror. The next morning, with her father's reluctant blessing and a heart full of determination, she set off on her quest. She took with her a loyal companion, a talking owl named Oliver, who had been her friend since childhood. As they journeyed through the Whispering Woods, Amara and Oliver encountered numerous challenges. They crossed a river of swirling rapids on a rickety old bridge, narrowly avoiding being swept away. They navigated through a dense, enchanted forest where the trees seemed to move on their own, trying to lead them astray. After several days, they reached the outskirts of the Forbidden Fortress. The ancient, towering structure loomed ominously before them, surrounded by jagged rocks and a moat filled with dark, murky water. Amara took a deep breath and, with Oliver perched on her shoulder, began to search for a way inside. They found a hidden entrance, a narrow passageway concealed by thick vines. Inside the fortress, the air was damp and cold, and the only light came from the faint glow of torches mounted on the walls. Amara and Oliver moved cautiously, aware that the fortress was filled with hidden dangers. As they ventured deeper, they encountered the first guardian, a giant spider with eyes that glowed like embers. The spider blocked their path, its fangs dripping with venom. Summoning all her courage, Amara drew her sword, ready to defend herself. But Oliver, ever the clever owl, had a different idea. He flew to the spider and began to speak in its language, a series of clicks and hisses. The spider hesitated, then slowly retreated, allowing Amara and Oliver to pass. "How did you do that?" Amara asked, amazed. "I reminded her of the ancient pact between our ancestors," Oliver explained. "We owe each other a debt of peace." Continuing their journey, they faced numerous other trials, including a room filled with shifting floors and hidden spikes, and a corridor guarded by a fierce, fire-breathing dragon. With Oliver's wisdom and Amara's bravery, they overcame each challenge, growing more determined with every step. Finally, they reached the heart of the fortress, a grand chamber where the enchanted mirror of Seraphine was kept. The mirror was mounted on an ornate golden frame, its surface shimmering with a magical light. However, as they approached, the final guardian appeared, a spectral knight clad in armor that glowed with an eerie blue light. "You shall not take the mirror," the knight declared, his voice echoing through the chamber. Amara stepped forward, her heart pounding. "I seek the mirror to save my mother, the queen. Please, allow me to take it." The spectral knight paused, as if considering her words. "Only one who is truly selfless and pure of heart may wield the power of the enchanted mirror. Prove your worth, princess." Amara thought for a moment, then realized what she had to do. She knelt before the knight and placed her sword at his feet. "I am willing to give up everything, even my life, to save my mother and protect my kingdom. Please, grant me this chance." The knight's eyes softened, and he slowly nodded. "You have proven your worth, Princess Amara. The mirror is yours." With great reverence, Amara approached the enchanted mirror and carefully took it down from its place. The moment she touched it, she felt a warm, soothing energy flow through her. She thanked the spectral knight, who bowed in return and then vanished. With the enchanted mirror in hand, Amara and Oliver hurried back to Luminera. The journey back seemed shorter, as if the mirror's magic was guiding them home. When they arrived, they found Queen Alera's condition had worsened. Without wasting a moment, Amara held the mirror over her mother, and its magical light enveloped the queen. Slowly, Queen Alera opened her eyes, her strength returning. She smiled at her daughter, tears of gratitude in her eyes. "Thank you, Amara. You have saved me." The kingdom rejoiced at the queen's miraculous recovery. King Eric declared a week of celebration, and Amara's bravery and selflessness became the stuff of legends. The enchanted mirror was placed in a special chamber in the castle, its magic reserved for those in greatest need. And so, Princess Amara continued to rule with wisdom and compassion, her bond with her mother stronger than ever. With Oliver by her side, she knew that any challenge could be overcome with courage, kindness, and a little bit of magic. And they all lived happily ever after. And they all lived happily ever after. In a peaceful village surrounded by ancient forests and sparkling rivers, there was a humble cottage owned by a kind old woman named Eloise. Eloise was known for her enchanting lanterns, each one imbued with a bit of magic. The most famous of all was the Lantern of Luminera, a lantern that glowed with a warm, golden light and was said to have the power to grant a single wish to anyone pure of heart. One crisp autumn morning, a young girl named Lily arrived at Eloise's cottage. Lily was known for her generous spirit and her deep love for the forest and its creatures. She had heard tales of the Lantern of Luminera and hoped it could help her solve a troubling problem. "Please, Eloise," Lily said as she approached, "I need your help. The forest animals are disappearing, and the once lush forest is withering. I fear that something terrible is happening." Eloise, who had seen many wondrous things in her lifetime, agreed to help. She handed Lily the Lantern of Luminera and instructed her, "This lantern can guide you to what you seek. Follow its light with a brave heart and a clear mind, and it will lead you to the answer you need. With the lantern in hand, Lily set out into the forest. The golden light from the lantern illuminated her path, casting a warm glow on the trees and guiding her deeper into the woods. As she walked, she noticed that the forest seemed eerily quiet. There were no chirping birds or rustling leaves. After a while, the lantern's light began to flicker and dim, and Lily found herself standing before an ancient, gnarled tree. The tree's bark was darkened, and its branches drooped as if burdened by sorrow. At the base of the tree was a small, locked door with intricate carvings of woodland creatures. Lily gently touched the door and, to her surprise, it creaked open. Inside, she discovered a hidden chamber filled with dust and cobwebs. In the center of the room stood a grand, ornate chest. The chest was locked with a heavy, rusted padlock. As Lily examined the padlock, she noticed a small inscription above it, "To unlock the heart. You must first mend what is broken." Determined, Lily searched the chamber and found a small, cracked mirror lying on a dusty shelf. She picked it up and saw that its surface was marred by a deep crack. Holding the mirror up to the lantern's light, she noticed something magical. The crack began to heal, and the mirror slowly returned to its pristine condition. With the mirror mended, the padlock on the chest clicked open. Lily opened the chest to reveal a shimmering, silver key and a note. The note read, "To restore the forest, you must return the key to its rightful place." The keys seemed to hum with energy, and Lily felt a sense of urgency. Following her intuition, she left the chamber and continued through the forest, guided by the lantern's light. The forest grew darker and more forlorn, but Lily's determination never wavered. The lantern led her to a clearing where a large, stone pedestal stood. Atop the pedestal was a keyhole that seemed to fit the silver key perfectly. Lily inserted the key into the keyhole and turned it. The moment the key turned, a burst of light erupted from the pedestal, and the forest began to shimmer with new life. Flowers bloomed, trees straightened, and the air was filled with the joyous sounds of woodland creatures returning to their homes. Lily looked around in awe as the forest was restored to its former glory. The lantern of Luminera glowed brighter than ever, and a soft, melodious voice echoed through the clearing. "You have restored the heart of the forest, Lily. Your pure heart and courage have brought back the magic." The voice belonged to a guardian spirit of the forest, who appeared as a gentle figure made of light and leaves. "The forest will forever be grateful for your bravery. As a token of our thanks, take this enchanted seed. When planted, it will grow into a tree that will always watch over the forest." Lily accepted the seed with gratitude and returned to her village. She planted the seed in a special spot in the forest, and it quickly grew into a magnificent tree with golden leaves that shimmered like the lantern's light. The villagers celebrated Lily's bravery and the restored forest with a grand festival. The forest flourished, and the lantern of Luminera was returned to Eloise's cottage, where it would await the next pure-hearted soul ready for an adventure. And so, the forest thrived under the watchful eye of the golden tree, and Lily's tale became a cherished story passed down through generations, reminding everyone of the magic that lies within a brave and kind heart. The end. The tale of the enchanted garden. Once upon a time, in a quiet village surrounded by lush hills and clear streams, there lived a young boy named Oliver. He was a curious and kind-hearted child, known for his love of plants and nature. Oliver's home was small, but his garden was large and filled with every kind of flower, herb, and tree you can imagine. He spent his days tending to his plants, talking to them as if they were his friends. Oliver's favorite part of his garden was an ancient, twisted oak tree that stood at the center. The tree was said to be magical, and the villagers believed that it had been planted by a powerful sorceress long ago. The tree's branches stretched wide, and its leaves shimmered with a faint golden light whenever the sun set. No one knew what kind of magic the tree held, but everyone agreed it was special. One summer evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Oliver noticed something strange. The leaves of the old oak tree were glowing brighter than usual, and the air around it seemed to hum with energy. Curious, Oliver approached the tree and placed his hand on its trunk. As soon as his hand touched the bark, the ground beneath him began to tremble. the roots of the tree shifted, and the earth parted to reveal a hidden stone staircase leading deep underground. Oliver hesitated for only a moment before his curiosity got the better of him. He took a deep breath and began to descend the staircase. The stairs spiraled down for what felt like an eternity, but eventually, Oliver reached the bottom. He found himself in a vast underground chamber illuminated by soft, glowing crystals embedded in the walls. In the center of the chamber was a garden unlike any Oliver had ever seen. The plants were tall and vibrant, their colors more brilliant than anything on the surface. The air was thick with the scent of flowers, and the sound of trickling water echoed through the chamber. As Oliver stepped into the garden, he felt a warm breeze brush against his face. The plants seemed to sway in rhythm with the breeze, and he heard a soft, melodious voice whispering through the air. "Welcome, young gardener," the voice said. "You have found the enchanted garden, a place of ancient magic. Here, the plants hold secrets and powers beyond imagination. You are the first to discover this place in many centuries." Oliver looked around, trying to find the source of the voice, but saw no one. "Who are you?" he asked, his voice trembling with excitement. "I am the spirit of the garden," the voice replied. "I have watched over this place for centuries, waiting for someone worthy to find it. You have cared for the plants above with such love and devotion that I have decided to reveal this hidden sanctuary to you." Oliver's heart swelled with pride. "What can I do here?" he asked. The spirit chuckled softly. "In this garden, the plants are alive in ways you cannot imagine. Each one holds a different kind of magic. Some can heal any wound, others can grant wisdom or courage, and a few can even make your wildest dreams come true. But be warned, young Oliver, magic is powerful, and it must be used wisely." Oliver nodded eagerly. "I promise to be careful. Can I take some of these plants back to the surface to help the villagers?" The spirit's voice grew serious. "You may take only one plant with you, Oliver. Choose wisely, for it will change the fate of your village." Oliver looked around the garden, marveling at the beauty and variety of the plants. There were flowers with petals that glowed like the moon, trees with leaves made of pure gold, and vines that hummed with energy. But as he explored, his eyes were drawn to a small, unassuming plant with delicate blue flowers. It wasn't as flashy as the others, but something about it called to him. He knelt beside the plant and touched its leaves. "What is this one?" he asked. "That is the flower of hope," the spirit replied. "Its magic is simple but powerful. It can lift the spirits of anyone who sees it, filling their heart with hope and courage. In times of darkness, it shines the brightest." Oliver smiled. He knew this was the plant he wanted to take back to his village. "I choose the flower of hope," he said. The spirit's voice was warm with approval. "A wise choice, young one. Take it with you, and remember that hope is the most powerful magic of all." The plant's roots gently loosened from the earth, and Oliver carefully lifted it from the ground. As soon as he did, the garden began to fade, and the stone staircase reappeared. The spirit's voice whispered one last time, "Go now, and share the hope you have found." Oliver ascended the staircase, carrying the flower of hope in his arms. When he reached the surface, he found the night sky filled with stars, and the old oak tree standing as it always had. He planted the flower of hope in the center of his garden, where everyone in the village could see it. The next morning, the villagers noticed the new addition to Oliver's garden. As they gazed at the delicate blue flowers, they felt a strange warmth in their hearts. Worries that had weighed heavily on their minds began to fade, replaced by a sense of peace and optimism. The village, once quiet and reserved, soon became a place of laughter and joy. People worked together, helping one another and facing challenges with newfound courage. Word of the magical flower spread, and soon people from neighboring villages came to see it. Oliver's garden became a place of pilgrimage, where those in need of hope could come and find solace. The village flourished, and the once lonely gardener became a beloved figure, known far and wide for his kindness and the miracle he had brought to the land. Years passed, and though the flower of hope never withered, Oliver grew old. As he lay in his bed one evening, surrounded by the love of his fellow villagers, he felt a familiar warmth in his heart. The spirit of the garden whispered to him once more, "You have done well, Oliver. Your life has been a beacon of hope for all who knew you. Rest now, knowing that your garden will continue to bring light to the world." With a contented smile, Oliver closed his eyes for the last time, knowing that his legacy would live on in the hearts of all who had been touched by the flower of hope. And so, the village continued to thrive, and the story of Oliver and his enchanted garden was passed down through the generations. The flower of hope remained a symbol of the power of kindness and the magic that lies within every heart. And they all lived happily ever after. I hope you enjoyed this fairy tale. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and a shimmering lake, there was a garden unlike any other. It was known as the Moonlit Garden, a place where flowers bloomed with ethereal light under the moon's gentle gaze. The villagers spoke of its magic, believing that the garden held the power to grant a single wish to anyone pure of heart. In the heart of this village lived a kind-hearted girl named Elowen. She had a special bond with the Moonlit Garden, often visiting it to admire the glowing flowers and listen to the soothing whispers of the night. However, the village had recently fallen on hard times. The once flourishing crops were withering, and a mysterious shadow seemed to loom over the land. The villagers were troubled, and many believed that only the magic of the Moonlit Garden could restore their happiness. One clear night, as the moon bathed the garden in its silvery light, Elowen made a heartfelt wish. She wished for the garden's magic to help her village and bring back prosperity and joy. That night, the moon's light grew brighter, and a gentle breeze seemed to carry her wish through the garden. The first challenge, the enchanted path. The next morning, as Elowen walked to the garden, she found a new, hidden path winding through the trees. The path was lined with luminous stones that seemed to glow with a soft, inviting light. As she ventured down the path, she came across a wise old owl perched on a branch. To continue along the enchanted path, the owl hooted, "You must solve this riddle. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Elowen thought for a moment and answered, "An echo." The owl's eyes sparkled with approval, and it flapped its wings to reveal a gateway at the end of the path. "Proceed through this gateway to face the next challenge," the owl advised. The second challenge, the River of Stars. Through the gateway, Elowen arrived at the River of Stars, a river with water that shimmered like a sky full of stars. The river was guarded by a graceful silver fish that swam gracefully among the glowing ripples. To cross the River of Stars, the fish said with a gentle voice, "You must answer this question. What is so fragile that saying its name breaks it?" Elowen pondered the question and replied, "Silence." The fish leapt joyfully from the water, creating a sparkling bridge of light across the river. Elowen carefully crossed the river, her heart filled with hope and determination. The third challenge, the Cave of Whispers. On the other side of the river, Elowen discovered the Cave of Whispers, a mysterious cave with walls that glowed softly like moonlight. At the entrance of the cave stood an ancient door adorned with delicate silver vines. A soothing voice echoed from within the cave, "To unlock this door and reach the heart of the Moonlit Garden, you must reveal your true self. Share your deepest wish and prove that you seek it with a pure heart." Elowen took a deep breath and spoke sincerely. "My deepest wish is to bring back the prosperity and joy to my village. I believe that with the magic of the Moonlit Garden, we can overcome the troubles that have befallen us." The cave's walls shimmered with a warm, golden light, and the ancient door slowly creaked open, revealing a magical chamber filled with the glowing essence of the Moonlit Garden. In the center of the chamber was a magnificent, radiant flower, the heart of the garden. The revelation, restoring the garden. With the heart of the Moonlit Garden in her hands, Elowen returned to her village. As she brought the magical flower to the village square, its light began to spread, touching every corner of the land. The crops began to flourish, the once dry fields turned green, and a sense of peace and joy returned to the villagers. The villagers gathered in awe as the magic of the Moonlit Garden restored their land and their happiness. They celebrated Eloan's bravery in the garden's miraculous power, grateful for the return of prosperity and light. The tale of Eloan's quest and the magic of the moonlit garden became a cherished story in the village, a reminder of the power of hope, kindness, and the enchantment that lies in the purest of hearts. Under the gentle glow of the moonlit garden, the village thrived once more, forever grateful for the girl who had restored their joy and light.
Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled in a valley surrounded by rolling hills, there lived a lonely shepherd named Finn. Finn spent his days tending to his flock of sheep, guiding them through the meadows and up the hillsides. Though he loved his sheep and the beautiful landscape, Finn often felt a deep loneliness, for he had no one to share his thoughts and dreams with. Each night, after securing his flock, Finn would sit atop a hill and gaze at the stars. The night sky, with its countless twinkling lights, was his only solace. He would make wishes upon the stars, hoping for a friend to share his life with. One night, as Finn sat under the starry sky, he noticed a particularly bright star. As he watched, the star grew larger and brighter, and to his amazement, it began to fall from the sky. The star streaked across the heavens and landed in a nearby meadow with a soft glow. Curious and excited, Finn hurried to the meadow to see the fallen star. When he arrived, he found a small, shimmering figure lying in the grass. It was a tiny, radiant fairy, her wings sparkling with the light of 1,000 stars. She looked up at Finn with kind, twinkling eyes. "Thank you for finding me," the fairy said in a melodic voice. "I am Stella, a star fairy. I fell from the sky while granting wishes, and now I need help to return home." Finn, overjoyed to have found a friend, eagerly offered to help Stella. "I'll do whatever it takes to help you get back to the stars," he promised. Stella smiled and explained that to return to the sky, she needed to gather the light of 3 magical objects: the moonflower, the crystal spring, and the phoenix feather. And so, Finn and Stella set off on their adventure. Stella rode on Finn's shoulder, her tiny wings glowing softly. They traveled through the village and into the forest, where their first quest awaited. Deep in the forest, they came upon a clearing bathed in moonlight. In the center of the clearing grew the moonflower, a rare and magical plant that only bloomed under the light of a full moon. Its petals glowed with a silvery light, and its scent was sweet and calming. As Finn approached the flower, a soft voice echoed through the clearing. "Who dares to take the moonflower?" It was the guardian of the forest, an ancient tree spirit named Eldon. Finn explained their quest and promised to take only one petal to help his friend. Eldon, moved by Finn's kindness and sincerity, allowed them to take a single petal from the moonflower. With the first piece of their quest complete, Finn and Stella continued on their journey. Next, they traveled to the crystal spring, a hidden waterfall that flowed with sparkling, magical water. The spring was guarded by a water nymph named Nya, who was known for her beauty and wisdom. When Finn and Stella arrived, Nya emerged from the water, her hair shimmering like liquid silver. She listened to their story and agreed to help, but she warned them that the spring's magic was fragile and must be respected. Nya gave them a vial filled with the crystal clear water. "Use it wisely," she said. "Its magic is powerful but delicate." Grateful for her help, Finn and Stella thanked Nya and set off to find the final magical object. Their last destination was the peak of a distant mountain, home to the legendary phoenix. The journey was long and arduous, but Finn and Stella persevered, driven by their determination to complete their quest. At the summit, they found the phoenix, a magnificent bird with feathers of fiery gold and crimson. The phoenix, wise and majestic, listened to their plea. "To help you, I will give you one of my feathers," it said. "But remember, true strength lies in kindness and friendship." The phoenix shed a single feather, glowing with intense heat and light. Finn and Stella thanked the phoenix and made their way back to the meadow where Stella had fallen. Back at the meadow, under the starry sky, Stella combined the moonflower petal, the crystal spring water, and the phoenix feather. As she did, a radiant light enveloped her, growing brighter and brighter until it lit up the entire meadow. "Thank you, Finn," Stella said, her voice filled with gratitude. You have given me the light I need to return home. With a final, sparkling smile, Stella ascended into the sky, her light merging with the stars. As Finn watched Stella return to her home among the stars, he felt a warmth in his heart. Though he was once again alone in the meadow, he no longer felt lonely. Stella had given him the greatest gift of all, the gift of friendship. From that night on, whenever Finn looked up at the stars, he saw Stella's bright light shining down on him, reminding him of their adventure and the bond they had formed. And in the village of Meadow Brook, the story of Finn and the Star Fairy became a cherished legend, a tale of courage, kindness, and the magic of true friendship.
Once upon a time, in the heart of a lush, ancient forest, there stood a majestic tree known as the Whispering Tree. It was the oldest tree in the forest, its branches stretching high into the sky, and its leaves shimmering with every color of the rainbow. The villagers who lived nearby believed the tree held magical powers, for it whispered secrets and stories to those who were willing to listen. In a small village at the edge of the forest lived a kind young boy named Finn. Finn was known for his curiosity and his deep love for nature. He spent his days exploring the forest, helping animals, and learning about the world around him. One day, as he walked through the forest, he heard the gentle whispers of the Whispering Tree. Intrigued, Finn decided to visit the tree and discover its secrets. As he approached the grand tree, he noticed a small, hidden door at its base. He gently pushed it open and stepped inside. The interior of the tree was hollow but beautifully illuminated with glowing fireflies. At the center of the hollow was an ancient book, covered in intricate designs and glowing softly. Finn carefully opened the book, and the pages fluttered on their own, stopping at a page with a mysterious drawing of a golden key. The book seemed to say, "Find the golden key, and you shall unlock the magic within the Whispering Tree." Finn's eyes sparkled with excitement. He knew he had to find this key. The whispers of the tree guided Finn to follow a winding path deep into the forest. As he walked, he encountered a wise old owl perched on a branch. The owl greeted him and asked, "Young Finn, what brings you to this part of the forest?" Finn explained his quest to find the golden key. The owl, with a twinkle in its eye, said, "To find the key, you must help those in need along your way. Only then will the key reveal itself." Determined, Finn continued his journey. He soon came across a family of squirrels who had lost their way. Finn helped them find their home in the tallest oak tree. As a thank you, the squirrels gave him a small, golden acorn, saying, "This might help you on your quest." Further along the path, Finn found a brook that had run dry. Using his knowledge of the forest, he dug a small channel to redirect the water, restoring the brook to life. The brook gurgled happily, and in the water's reflection, Finn saw a shimmering golden key floating. Finn reached into the water and carefully retrieved the golden key. He thanked the forest and continued back to the Whispering Tree. Upon his return, he inserted the key into the hidden door at the base of the tree. The door creaked open, revealing a dazzling chamber filled with golden light. Inside the chamber, Finn found a crystal vial filled with a luminous liquid. A soft voice echoed through the chamber, saying, "This is the essence of harmony. It holds the power to heal and bring balance to the forest. You, brave Finn, have shown kindness and courage. This essence is now yours to protect." Finn carefully took the vial and stepped out of the tree. He used the essence of harmony to tend to the forest, restoring the balance of nature and ensuring that all creatures lived in harmony. The forest thrived, and the Whispering Tree continued to share its wisdom with all who came seeking help. From that day on, Finn became known as the guardian of the forest. He lived a long and fulfilling life, always guided by the whispers of the tree and the lessons he learned from his adventure. The villagers often spoke of Finn's bravery in the magic of the Whispering Tree, passing the story down through generations. And so, the forest remained a place of wonder and enchantment, forever touched by the kindness of one curious boy who listened to the whispers of the ancient tree. Once upon a time, in a village nestled between majestic mountains and a sparkling river, there lived a curious boy named Finn. Finn was known for his bright blue eyes and adventurous spirit. His favorite place to explore was the Whispering Meadow, a beautiful field just beyond the village where wildflowers swayed and the wind told ancient tales. One warm summer evening, as Finn wandered through the meadow, he stumbled upon a hidden path he had never noticed before. The path was lined with twinkling fireflies, leading him towards a secluded grove. At the heart of the grove was a small, shimmering pond that seemed to glow with an otherworldly light. As Finn approached the pond, he noticed that the water was filled with tiny, sparkling stars. The pond was like nothing he had ever seen before. Curious, he knelt by the edge and gazed into the water. To his amazement, a gentle voice spoke from the pond. "Welcome, young traveler. You have discovered the Starlight Pond, a place of great magic and mystery." Finn looked around, searching for the source of the voice. "Who are you?" he asked. "I am Elara, the guardian of the Starlight Pond," the voice replied. "This pond holds a secret that can only be revealed to those with a pure heart and a brave spirit." Finn's eyes widened with excitement. "What secret?" Elara explained, "The pond has the power to grant one wish to someone who proves their worth by completing a quest. To unlock the magic, you must find the 3 hidden stars scattered across the land." Determined, Finn accepted the challenge. Elara told him that the first star was hidden in the Enchanted Forest, the second in the Cave of Echoes, and the third in the Valley of Shadows. Finn set off on his quest, starting with the Enchanted Forest. As he entered the forest, he was greeted by a friendly squirrel named Nutmeg. "Can you help me find a hidden star?" Finn asked. Nutmeg nodded eagerly. "I know the forest well. Follow me." They ventured deeper into the forest until they reached a large, ancient oak tree. Nutmeg explained that the star was hidden high up in the tree, but it could only be reached by solving a riddle. Nutmeg recited the riddle: "I have cities, but no houses. I have mountains, but no trees. I have water, but no fish. What am I?" Finn thought for a moment and then answered, "A map." The oak tree's branches parted, revealing a golden star nestled among the leaves. Finn took the star and thanked Nutmeg, continuing his journey to the Cave of Echoes. The cave was dark and eerie, but Finn was not afraid. Inside, he met a wise old bat named Sable, who guarded the second star. Sable explained that the star was hidden behind a wall of echoes, and Finn needed to use his voice to reveal it. Finn spoke out loud, reciting a poem he had learned from his grandmother. The echoes danced around him, creating a harmonious melody. As the echoes faded, the wall parted, revealing the second star. With the second star in hand, Finn proceeded to the Valley of Shadows. The valley was shrouded in darkness, and Finn could barely see. He was met by a shadowy figure named Shade, who guarded the final star. Shade challenged Finn to confront his deepest fear. Finn closed his eyes and took a deep breath, remembering the adventures he had faced and the friends he had made. He opened his eyes with newfound courage and stepped forward. Shade, impressed by Finn's bravery, handed him the final star and said, "You have faced your fears and proven your worth." With all 3 stars, Finn returned to the Starlight Pond. Elara emerged from the water, her form glowing with the light of the stars. She congratulated Finn and asked, "What is your wish?" Finn thought about it and said, "I wish for my village to always be filled with wonder, magic, and joy." Elara smiled and waved her hand. The stars from the pond rose into the sky, casting a brilliant light over the village. The village was soon filled with enchanting creatures, magical events, and a sense of wonder that never faded. Finn returned home, greeted as a hero. He shared his adventures with the villagers, and the Starlight Pond became a cherished place of magic and inspiration. And so, Finn's wish came true, and the village thrived with magic and happiness. Finn's bravery and pure heart became legendary, reminding everyone that magic could be found by those who dared to seek it. And they lived happily ever after. The end. Once upon a time, in the ancient kingdom of Eldoria, there was a young princess named Astrid. Eldoria was a land of wonder and beauty, known for its lush forests, sparkling rivers, and majestic mountains. But the most remarkable feature of Eldoria was the Fountain of Dreams, a magical fountain hidden deep within the enchanted forest. It was said that the fountain had the power to grant a single wish to anyone who found it, but its location had been lost to time. Princess Astrid was a curious and adventurous soul. She loved exploring the kingdom and listening to the stories of old told by the castle's wise librarian, Master Cedric. One evening, as the sun set in hues of orange and pink, Astrid sat by the fireplace, engrossed in a tale about the Fountain of Dreams. Master Cedric, Astrid asked, her eyes wide with wonder, "Do you think the Fountain of Dreams really exists?" The old librarian smiled, his eyes twinkling. "Many believe it's just a legend, but I have always felt there's truth to it. The fountain's magic is tied to the heart of Eldoria. Only a pure-hearted soul with unwavering determination can find it." That night, Astrid couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about the fountain and what she would wish for if she found it. She knew exactly what she wanted, to heal the land of Eldoria, which had been suffering from a terrible drought for the past year. Crops were failing, rivers were drying up, and the people were growing desperate. Determined to save her kingdom, Astrid decided to find the Fountain of Dreams. Early the next morning, she packed a small bag with essentials, including a map of Eldoria, a compass, and a locket given to her by her late mother. She told no one of her plan, not wanting to worry her father, King Alden, who was already burdened by the kingdom's plight. Astrid set off on her journey, heading toward the enchanted forest. The forest was dense and mysterious, filled with ancient trees whose branches whispered secrets of old. As she ventured deeper, she encountered a fox with fur as red as autumn leaves. The fox seemed to be waiting for her. "Hello, little princess," the fox said, surprising Astrid with its ability to speak. "I am Fenwick, guardian of the forest. What brings you here?" "I seek the Fountain of Dreams," Astrid replied, trying to sound braver than she felt. "My kingdom needs its magic to end the drought." Fenwick studied her for a moment, then nodded. "Very well, I shall guide you. But be warned, the path is fraught with challenges that will test your heart and spirit." Together, Astrid and Fenwick journeyed through the forest. They crossed a river by solving the riddles of the water sprites, who guarded the only bridge. They navigated through a maze of thorns with the help of a kindly old owl named Orion, who gave Astrid a feather that glowed in the dark. After several days, they reached the heart of the enchanted forest, where the air was thick with magic. There, they encountered the final guardian, a majestic unicorn named Leora. Her coat shimmered like moonlight, and her eyes held centuries of wisdom. "To reach the Fountain of Dreams, you must prove the purity of your heart," Leora said. "Tell me, Princess Astrid, what is your deepest wish?" Astrid didn't hesitate. "I wish to end the drought and bring prosperity back to Eldoria. My people are suffering, and I want to help them." Leora nodded approvingly. "Your wish is selfless and noble. You may proceed." With Leora's blessing, Astrid and Fenwick continued until they finally stood before the Fountain of Dreams. The fountain was a magnificent sight, with crystal-clear water that sparkled like diamonds. As Astrid approached, the water began to glow, reacting to her presence. "Kneel by the fountain and speak your wish," Fenwick instructed. Astrid knelt and placed her hands in the cool water. "I wish for the drought to end and for Eldoria to flourish once more." The fountain glowed brighter, and a soft, melodic voice echoed through the clearing. "Your wish is granted, pure-hearted princess." Suddenly, the ground trembled, and a stream of water shot up from the fountain, spreading across the forest and beyond. Astrid watched in awe as the magic flowed through the land, reviving rivers, filling lakes, and nourishing the earth. The once dry fields began to bloom with life, and the skies opened up, bringing gentle rain. With her heart full of joy, Astrid thanked Fenwick and Leora for their guidance. She returned to Eldoria, where she was welcomed as a hero. The people rejoiced, and King Alden embraced his daughter, proud of her bravery and selflessness. The kingdom of Eldoria flourished once more, and the story of Princess Astrid's journey to the Fountain of Dreams became a cherished legend, reminding everyone of the power of hope, courage, and a pure heart. And so, under the gentle rain and the blooming flowers, the people of Eldoria lived happily ever after, forever grateful for their brave princess. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a peaceful valley surrounded by majestic mountains, there was a village named Harmony Hollow. This village was famous for its breathtaking, colorful flowers that bloomed all year round, thanks to the magic of a benevolent spirit named Flora, who dwelled in the heart of the Whispering Woods nearby. Flora was known for her kindness and her gift of bringing life and color to the land. She would sprinkle magical dew on the flowers each morning, ensuring that Harmony Hollow remained vibrant and beautiful. The villagers adored Flora and would often leave small gifts and tokens of appreciation at the edge of the Whispering Woods. One spring morning, as Flora was tending to her garden of magical blooms, she noticed something troubling. The colors of her flowers were starting to fade, and the once lush leaves were turning brown. Flora's heart sank as she realized that the magic sustaining her garden was waning. Desperate to restore the vitality of the flowers, Flora decided to seek help from the mystical Rainbow Fountain, a legendary source of great magic said to be hidden deep within the enchanted glade. Flora knew that the journey to the Rainbow Fountain was perilous and that she needed a brave companion. She summoned her friend, a young and courageous girl named Mia from Harmony Hollow. Mia had always admired Flora's magic and was eager to help. Flora explained the situation and asked Mia to accompany her on the quest to the enchanted glade. With a nod of determination, Mia agreed. The two set off through the Whispering Woods, where the trees seemed to whisper encouraging words as they passed. Their journey took them through enchanted meadows, over sparkling streams, and into the heart of a mysterious mist that concealed the entrance to the enchanted glade. As they ventured deeper into the mist, the path became less clear, and shadows danced around them. Flora and Mia reached a shimmering archway leading into the glade. Beyond the archway lay the Rainbow Fountain, a magnificent waterfall cascading with liquid light in every color of the rainbow. The sight was breathtaking, but their joy was short-lived. At the base of the fountain, they found an old, rusted chest with a faded inscription: "To restore the magic, one must prove their heart's true desire." The chest was locked, and beside it was a riddle inscribed on a golden plaque: "I am not alive, yet I grow. I do not have lungs, yet I need air. I do not have a mouth, yet water kills me. What am I?" Mia pondered the riddle carefully. Flora, sensing Mia's deep focus, encouraged her. After a moment, Mia's eyes lit up with understanding. "A fire," she answered confidently. The chest creaked open, revealing a sparkling, golden key inside. Flora took the key and unlocked a hidden compartment in the Rainbow Fountain. The compartment contained a small, radiant vial filled with shimmering liquid. "This is the essence of eternal bloom," Flora explained. "It will restore the magic of the Whispering Woods." With the vial in hand, Flora and Mia made their way back to Harmony Hollow. Flora carefully sprinkled the essence of eternal bloom over the fading flowers and plants in her garden. As the liquid touched the leaves and petals, they began to regain their vibrant colors, and the garden once again flourished with an array of dazzling hues. The villagers of Harmony Hollow were overjoyed to see their beloved garden revived. They celebrated Flora and Mia with a grand feast and heartfelt gratitude. Flora thanked Mia for her bravery and determination, and the two friends shared a moment of happiness as they looked upon the beautiful garden that had been saved. From that day on, Flora's magic continued to bring life and color to Harmony Hollow, and Mia's bravery became a cherished tale in the village. The enchanted glade and the Rainbow Fountain remained a symbol of hope and renewal, and the bond between Flora and Mia became a lasting friendship that was remembered for generations to come. And so, Harmony Hollow thrived in the glow of its renewed beauty, and Flora and Mia lived happily, knowing that true friendship and courage could overcome any challenge. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a kingdom where the skies were painted with the colors of dawn and the rivers sang lullabies, there was a small village named Glimmerwood. Glimmerwood was nestled in a lush valley surrounded by the towering mystical mountains, where the people lived in harmony with nature and each other. The village was known for its enchanting glow at night, a result of the magical fireflies that danced among the trees. At the heart of Glimmerwood lived a young girl named Clara, who was known for her adventurous spirit and her kind heart. Clara lived with her father, a skilled carpenter, and her mother, a talented weaver. Clara loved to explore the forest with her best friend, a clever fox named Jasper. They would spend hours discovering new paths and marveling at the wonders of nature. One evening, as Clara and Jasper were returning from one of their adventures, they noticed that the fireflies were not glowing as brightly as usual. The villagers gathered in the square, worried and whispering about the dimming light. The village elder, a wise woman named Alara, explained that the fireflies' glow was tied to the Heartstone, a magical gem hidden deep within the enchanted forest. If the Heartstone's light faded, so would the fireflies, plunging Glimmerwood into darkness. Determined to save her village, Clara volunteered to find the Heartstone and restore its light. With Jasper by her side, she set off into the enchanted forest. The forest was a place of beauty and mystery, with ancient trees that seemed to whisper secrets and streams that sparkled like liquid silver. As Clara and Jasper ventured deeper into the forest, they encountered their first challenge, a wide, fast-flowing river with no bridge in sight. Just as Clara was about to despair, a magnificent stag appeared on the opposite bank. The stag spoke in a deep, soothing voice, "To cross this river, you must answer my riddle. What has roots as nobody sees, is taller than trees, up, up it goes, and yet never grows?" Clara thought for a moment and then smiled. "A mountain." The stag nodded and lowered its antlers, creating a magical bridge of vines and flowers. Clara and Jasper crossed the river safely and continued their journey. Soon, they arrived at a dense part of the forest where the trees were so thick that no light penetrated. In the darkness, they could hear the soft rustling of leaves and the faint sound of footsteps. Suddenly, a pair of glowing eyes appeared, and a large, wise owl emerged from the shadows. "To pass through this darkness, you must show your wisdom," the owl hooted. "Tell me, what can fill a room but takes up no space?" Clara pondered the question and then answered, "Light." The owl's eyes twinkled with approval, and the dense trees parted, revealing a clear path bathed in moonlight. As they walked through the illuminated path, they reached a beautiful meadow where a majestic unicorn with a shimmering mane stood. The unicorn looked at them with sorrowful eyes. "My magic is fading, and I can no longer guard the Heartstone," the unicorn said. "To find the stone, you must show compassion. Can you help me?" Clara, with Jasper's help, gathered herbs and concocted a healing potion, just as her mother had taught her. She offered it to the unicorn, who drank it gratefully. Immediately, the unicorn's strength was restored, and it shone with a radiant light. "You have shown great kindness," the unicorn said. "Climb on my back, and I will take you to the Heartstone." Clara and Jasper climbed onto the unicorn's back, and in a flash of light, they were transported to a hidden glade. At the center of the glade stood the Heartstone, glowing faintly. However, as Clara approached it, a dark shadow emerged from the ground. It was Morwen, a sorceress who sought the Heartstone's power for herself. "You cannot take the Heartstone," Morwen hissed, her eyes filled with malice. "It belongs to me." Clara stood her ground, her heart pounding but her resolve unwavering. The Heartstone belongs to those who seek to protect and cherish it, not to those who would use it for evil. Morwen raised her staff, ready to strike, but Jasper darted forward and knocked the staff from her hands. In the confusion, Clara seized the Heartstone and held it high. A brilliant light burst forth, banishing Morwen and her dark magic from the glade. With the Heartstone in her grasp, Clara made her wish for the firefly's light to be restored and for Glimmerwood to be safe and prosperous. The Heartstone's light enveloped the glade, and a wave of magic spread throughout the forest and beyond, illuminating the entire kingdom. Clara and Jasper returned to Glimmerwood as heroes. The villagers celebrated their bravery and the return of the firefly's enchanting glow. The Heartstone was placed in a special shrine in the village, where its magic could continue to protect and nourish the land. Clara's name became a legend, inspiring generations with her courage and compassion. And so, the village of Glimmerwood thrived under the watchful eyes of its brave young hero, living happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between lush green hills and the shimmering blue lake, lived two siblings, Elara and Thorn. Elara was a kind-hearted girl with a curiosity that matched her bright blue eyes, while Thorn, her younger brother, was brave and adventurous, always eager to explore the unknown. Their village was surrounded by a dense forest known as the Enchanted Grove. Legends spoke of magical creatures and hidden treasures within the grove, but it was also said to be protected by an ancient enchantment that only the pure of heart could pass through. One sunny morning, Elara and Thorn set off on a new adventure. They had heard whispers of a hidden glade within the Enchanted Grove where the fabled Tree of Wishes grew. The tree, according to the legend, could grant one true wish to those who found it. With their hearts full of hope, they ventured into the grove, guided by a mysterious map they found in their grandmother's attic. As they walked deeper into the forest, the trees grew taller and the light dimmer. The air was filled with the scent of wildflowers and the sound of rustling leaves. Suddenly, a mischievous pixie named Lumina appeared before them, her wings shimmering like sunlight on water. "Where are you two headed?" Lumina asked with a twinkle in her eye. "We're looking for the Tree of Wishes," Elara replied. Lumina fluttered around them, her laughter like the tinkling of tiny bells. "Many have sought the tree, but few have found it. The path is perilous and full of challenges. But I see something special in both of you. I will guide you, but you must prove your worth along the way." The siblings agreed, and Lumina led them to their first challenge, a bridge guarded by a fierce troll named Grumble. The troll demanded a riddle be solved before they could pass. "I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with wind. What am I?" Grumble growled. Elara thought for a moment and then answered, "An echo." Grumble grunted, but a smile tugged at his lips. "Correct. You may pass." The trio continued their journey until they reached a wide river with no bridge or boat in sight. Lumina pointed to a family of beavers nearby. "Perhaps they can help." Thorn approached the beavers and asked for their assistance. The beavers agreed to build a bridge if the siblings could help them find food. Elara and Thorn worked together, gathering berries and nuts, and soon the beavers constructed a sturdy bridge. As they crossed the river, Lumina warned them of their final challenge, a maze of thorns that could only be navigated by those with pure intentions. Holding hands, Elara and Thorn entered the maze, their hearts united in their quest. They walked with determination, helping each other through the twists and turns. At the maze's end, they found themselves in a serene glade bathed in golden light. In the center stood the majestic Tree of Wishes, its branches heavy with sparkling fruit. A gentle voice spoke from the tree, "You have shown bravery, kindness, and purity of heart. You may each make a wish." Elara wished for the prosperity and happiness of their village, while Thorn wished for their parents' good health and long life. The tree shimmered, and the wishes were granted. As a token of gratitude, the tree gave them each a golden leaf, promising that they would always find their way back to the glade when needed. With Lumina's help, Elara and Thorn returned home, their hearts light and their spirits high. They shared their tale, and the village flourished with newfound hope and joy. And so, the siblings' adventure became a cherished legend, reminding everyone that with courage, kindness, and a pure heart, even the most daunting challenges could be overcome. And they lived happily ever after. The end. The Lantern of Lumina. Once upon a time, in a peaceful village nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, there stood a charming old lighthouse. This lighthouse was not just a beacon for sailors, it was also known to hold a secret. The villagers believed that inside the lighthouse was a magical lantern called the Lantern of Lumina. The lantern was said to have the power to grant one wish to someone who truly needed it. In this village lived a humble boy named Oliver. Oliver was kind-hearted and always willing to help others, even though he didn't have much to call his own. His family was poor, and the village was suffering from a recent storm that had destroyed crops and homes. Despite his own troubles, Oliver worked tirelessly to support his neighbors and help rebuild the village. One stormy night, Oliver's mother fell ill, and their small cottage was barely holding together. Hearing the villagers speak of the Lantern of Lumina and its magical properties, Oliver decided to seek it out. He hoped that the lantern's magic could bring relief to his family and the village. The journey to the lighthouse the next morning, with a heavy heart but determined spirit, Oliver set off towards the lighthouse. The path was difficult, with the remnants of the storm making the journey treacherous. But Oliver's resolve was strong, and he pressed on through the rain and wind. As Oliver approached the lighthouse, he saw an old wooden door with intricate carvings. To his surprise, the door was slightly ajar. He pushed it open and stepped into the dimly lit interior. The lighthouse was filled with the scent of old sea air and salt. The keeper of the lighthouse in the center of the lighthouse stood a spiral staircase leading up to the lantern. At the base of the stairs sat an elderly man with a long, silver beard. He was the keeper of the lighthouse, a wise and gentle soul who had tended to the lighthouse for many years. The keeper looked at Oliver with kind eyes and said, "To reach the Lantern of Lumina, you must first prove your worth. Solve my riddle. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Oliver thought for a moment and then answered, "An echo." The keeper smiled and nodded, motioning for Oliver to proceed up the stairs. The lantern was at the top, glowing softly through the stormy windows. The Lantern of Lumina at the top of the lighthouse, Oliver saw the Lantern of Lumina resting on a pedestal. The lantern was beautifully crafted, with delicate patterns that shimmered like stardust. As Oliver approached, he could feel a warm, comforting glow emanating from it. A soft voice echoed from the lantern, "To grant your wish, you must speak from the heart. What you asked for must be for the benefit of others." Oliver took a deep breath and said, "I wish for my village to be restored, for the storm to be healed, and for my family and neighbors to find happiness and prosperity again." As Oliver spoke, the lantern's light grew brighter, and a gentle, golden glow filled the room. The light spread outwards, flowing through the stormy clouds and over the village. The return to the village. When Oliver returned to his village, he was greeted with a miraculous sight. The storm had cleared, and the village was bathed in golden sunlight. The homes were repaired, the fields were green, and there was food and clean water for everyone. The village was bustling with joy and laughter. Oliver's family was in good health, and the village celebrated with a grand feast to honor Oliver's bravery and kindness. The magic of the Lantern of Lumina had transformed their lives, and Oliver was hailed as a hero. The tale of Oliver and the Lantern of Lumina became a cherished story in the village, a reminder of the power of selflessness and the magic that can be found when one truly cares for others. And so, the village continued to thrive, forever blessed by the magic of the Lantern of Lumina and the heart of one extraordinary young boy,